up, my gamers in Christ? How are we doing today? Just doing some back end things here real quick. It's a little bit of an unknown trick I got here. Anyways, today is the date of March 8th. I knew that. I was just testing if you knew that. We got a little bit of a new display here. We have the ability to move our browser if we need to. That's a big upgrade. Anyways, let me turn off Cash's face. We love you, Cash. We love you, but not today. We don't need to hear about Cash Money today. Anyways, we're gonna have a good day today. I wonder if MAGA is up and about today. I have a feeling that now, due to us not having issues with our calling, we should be fairly good to go. We've got all the prerequisites. I'm actually going to open this in the app. And maybe if it pops up. It's got to pop up for it to open. That is kind of a requirement. Oh, okay. This is actually... I was in it. I was in it the whole time. Can you believe that? Anyways, we are receiving calls right now. Disagree? Sorry? Well, feel free to call in and tell me why I'm wrong. Hey, come on, it's easy to be a keyboard warrior. It's a little hard to defend your ideas when you're met with some confrontation. But that's okay. It's, you know, the computer companies, they need a reason to keep printing keyboards, so keep it up, guys. Anyways, besides obviously what we're doing, we do have a video by Gavin Newsom that I thought would be interesting to watch with you guys. Another whiny liberal streamer about King Trump. Listen, I'm sorry my First Amendment freedoms hurt your feelings, but please try not to soy out too much in the chat. Please try not to do that. It's not healthy. It's not healthy. If you guys are new here, feel free to like and subscribe. It really helps out the channel and gets me boosted. I do 2 shows every day where I talk about the news and politics. So if that interests you, give a like and a sub. A lot of things to be upset about with Trump. A lot of things. You know, we have the recent Iranian war. You asked if I disagreed. That's my answer, dude. Well, okay. Thank you for enlightening all of us. If you wanted to actually defend your ideas, feel free to call in. Feel free to call in. I disagree with your disagreements. That's a word. It sounds like a word, doesn't it? Anyways, lots of reasons to be upset with Trumps. Lots of reasons to be upset with Trump, ladies and gentlemen. Captain Birdhammer with an absolute stinger. He says with 8 viewers only. Well, you might want to check that again, buddy. You might want to check that again. Anyways, you guys are my biggest fans. You're the ones that are arriving early right now. Anyways, feel free, MAGA, to call in. I'm always free, always available. And I want to talk about how this administration is failing the American people. I mean, it's embarrassing. He's embarrassing our image on the world stage. Not only that, but there's just a waterfall of lies coming out of that man's mouth. You're welcome. Well, thank you. Thank you again. You're a very kind individual. I appreciate it, Mike Johnson. I just like to believe that's the actual Mike Johnson. You know what I mean? That's why he's like, I disagree, you know? Because he doesn't quite understand how technology works. And so, he doesn't understand that I'm asking for you to call in. You see 4 people? Well, damn, you might have to get that checked. Well said. Thank you, Rising Star. I appreciate that, man. Anyways, if you disagree with Trump, feel free to call in. Replace PDF with .mp4 on the DOJ Epstein files web address to unredact them. Works on all photos and video files. Yeah, we're actually going to be talking about that probably tomorrow. More just on the Epstein-related stuff in general. But with that being said, the Epstein files, where are they? You know? Trump's DOJ begrudgingly accepted releasing the files, the 50 pages that they withheld from the public that involved Donald Trump doing a variety of disgusting acts. And the FBI interviewed this woman 4 times, ladies and gentlemen, 4 times, and they still are trying to discredit her. It's really embarrassing. Hey, what's up, it's Bots? Good to see you. Yes, I do exist, only in this void, though. I've got a device that's able to capture my presence, but only for a little bit, so make sure to like and subscribe so you guys know when my essence is being captured. Most Americans don't want war, that's it. They have their own domestic problems to settle. Exactly, dude. Exactly. And, you know, I don't like to say this as a distraction because this definitely lines up with Donald Trump's worldview and that entire administration's worldview. But it does feel at sometimes like a distraction from things like the Epstein files. Hey, what's up, Kayla? Good to see you. Iran, what? The only nation stopping the world crypto from working. That's why they want regime change. I think it's a little deeper than that. I think it's a little deeper, but that may be a contributing factor because Donald Trump is very invested in having crypto run. Oh, you're up to 19 people now. Well, thank you, or 13. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Remember to like and subscribe. You guys are what makes this happen. Especially because we need to get in front of MAGA and get new people seeing this video. So remember to like and sub, because it really does, it gets me in front of MAGA, you know? And that's what we need to do right now. But don't be afraid to call in. I'm not nearly as adversarial as I may seem, but I will, you know, I will ask you some hard questions. So if you don't want to do that, I understand. Hard questions like, is it okay to racially profile? Unfortunately, the Republicans, they seem to think it's okay. I disagree with that. I think it's Trump's fault that DHS is currently shut down and we are vulnerable to our enemies. I think that's a big problem. And something I think the administration needs to address. Stop fucking around in Iran and actually get some domestic policy done. Mainly hiding him being a chomo. Also, the ban on vapes is because a lot of his money is ran through Blackstone Investments, which invest a large amounts of Trump's funds into tobacco. ICE is coming? I don't think so, my friend. I don't think ICE is going to do very much here once they get neutered by this partial government shutdown. The American people are on my side. Most Americans do not agree with the way ICE is doing their operations. Anyways, feel free to call in, MAGA. I'm not that hard of a person to talk to. I know I may look like Tim Pool quite a little bit, but I am indeed not Tim Pool. I'm an actual liberal, believe it or not. I don't fake my liberal status for cred. I don't know why Tim Pool does it. I honestly think it's because it's too far in the grift, man. You go too far in the grift and it gets ya. Anyways, we're just waiting on MAGA. Oh shit, it's masculine time pool. Exactly. I'm the masculine version of Tim Pool. Anyways, no, Tim Pool's masculine enough. I mean, he's balding like me, so he may very well have a lot of testosterone as well. It's the male version of Tim Pool. Hey, I think he is a guy. I haven't seen his genitalia, but I've got a good feeling he's a guy, you know. I'm just applying the same standards they do to trans people, you know. I haven't seen his genitalia, so do I know that he's a guy? Well, I don't know. The lame Tim Pool. Oh, Tim Pool wishes he was this cool. He wishes. Hair tattoos, you've seen stuff, it looks fine. Oh, I mean, dude, I am totally okay with admitting my baldness. It's just kind of cold. I wear it as a badge of pride, you know? Too much testosterone in one man. It'll do something to your hairline, guys. It'll do a number. Anyways, while we wait for MAGA, I guess we can watch some videos. Sorry, this is the horror music. I don't know why this isn't a video game about mechs, but I guess it is. No homo, you handsome? Oh, well, thank you so much. I really appreciate that, Bob. I appreciate that very much. Quit crying? Well, I don't know if I'm crying. However, MAGA is collectively letting out a whine as Donald Trump breaks most of his campaign promises. I mean, I don't know. Have you not heard the whining coming from MAGA? It's quite intense. It's quite intense. You know, there was recently some warnings about how their the pitch may break your windows. Now, I don't know if to believe that or not, but well, dude, good luck on your podcast. Thank you very much. I appreciate that, Mike Johnson. I appreciate that a sitting Congress member appreciates my podcast. Good luck to you, sir. They scared of the elite chomos that give them lazy lives vanishing. Yeah, no, for sure. Donald Trump is definitely afraid of the Epstein files. I mean, that is undeniable almost. Again, his DAOJ withheld about 50 pages worth of an interview between a woman and the FBI. They interviewed her 4 times. You don't do that if she's not credible. And the interview was detailing how Donald Trump sexually molested a 13 to 14-year-old. Pretty disgusting, if you ask me. I mean, that shit is vulgar and beyond repute. You know what I mean? It's just disgusting. But they want to hide that from us, ladies and gentlemen. They want to hide that from us. If MAGA is whining, then the leftovers are having a nervous breakdown? I don't think so, man. I think the American people largely feel the Democratic message, as we've seen in special elections and these midterm elections where Democrats have overwhelmingly showed up where Republicans just haven't. But I guess we'll see, right? You guys don't need to worry. They describe his genitals exact side and where his birthmark is. Yeah. Good mic choice? Yeah, I'm a big fan of Shure. They're a really good mic company. Big fan. And they're pretty cheap too. Just keep telling the truth. That might be off subject, but I got a Gyarados at level 100 in Pokemon. That's great to hear. Congratulations, Kayla. You cheat? We don't need to cheat, my friend. This is what the American people feel. Unfortunately, you guys are just sore losers. So anytime you lose, it has to be somebody else's fault, rather than just taking accountability and saying the American people aren't feeling your message. Oh, you're fine if you misspell things, Bob. Don't worry about it. 2020 stolen. Yeah, well, we're talking about if we stole the 2020 election, then why didn't we just steal the 2024 election? I mean, if it was that easy, right? We'd just steal it. We'd steal it again. It doesn't hold up to credulity, brother. Why is he round? That's a good question. I do wonder why Donald Trump is round. I do wonder. I imagine it's the mass intake of burgers. However, I'm not a health expert or a dietitian, so I don't know. But MAGA, feel free to call in. You know, it's not that hard if you have a phone. Now, I understand that the Trump mobile services have not been nearly as good as they were promised to be, but I promise you that I've got a good phone here, so we should have a good connection. Trump supporters will continue to go along and get along as long as you don't take away their emotional support guns. What a bunch of betas. Amen, Timothy Travis. Amen. You know, it's beta behavior. And, you know, to be honest, I myself have no issue with the Second Amendment. I think we need a much more robust mental health system, and that will solve a lot of our issues. But unlike the Republicans, when I actually say it's a mental health issue, I want to see policy that addresses that. And not just this wanton, wanton not dealing with our society's most vulnerable. Beta! Yeah, I know, right? I'm actually gonna turn down the music volume just a little bit. I feel like it might be a little louder than my words. By the way, if you guys are enjoying the stream, don't forget to like and subscribe. It really helps out the channel, gets me in front of new MAGA that we can debate with. You tried stealing in 2024 but couldn't steal enough. See how dumb you sound? Like, even you yourself are laughing at that. Like, if we stole it, then don't you think we'd have even more infrastructure, even more, even more voters to steal it again? Because we were under a Democratic presidency. Wouldn't they be bolstering the ability? It just doesn't stand up to credulity, man. You're gonna have to get a better argument. I'm just telling you how it is. Excuse me. I went on a nice walk with my dog. That was fun. Shout out to Stryker. He's my most amazing friend in the world. Shout out. Yeah, MAGA is well, you know, it's probably hard to call in, especially for MAGA, because, you know, their dude isn't holding up. He's not doing what they promised. That's the whole point. You don't have the voters, you have the illusion of voters. That doesn't make any sense, my friend. You're fighting ghosts. That doesn't even address the topic I'm talking about. Oh yeah, you idiots let in 20 million illegals. Well, if we would let in 20 million illegals to get them to vote, don't you think we would have smashed the election? You either have two options. You can either admit that there weren't 20 million illegals sent in, or you can admit that the election wasn't stolen. It's that simple. You're actually wrong on both fronts. It was about 3 million undocumented citizens let in, but that's all right. That's all right. MAGA has never been that good with numbers. No, laughing face emoji, laughing face emoji, laughing face emoji, laughing face emoji. Damn. Mark out here busting his guts. He's having a good time. Well, I'm glad you enjoy my stream, my friend. Trump is president. Everybody, let's deal with it and stop playing pretend. Well, my friend, why don't you go back in the past and tell all those live streamers to not complain about Biden? Because you guys did the exact same shit. I think it's sad, you know, you're not willing to actually fight me on the topic, so you just have to cry and moan. It's okay. 3 million too many? I disagree with you, my friend. These people benefit our lives. They make our lives easier, cheaper. And they want to. They want to have the ability to make better lives for themselves. I don't see the problem with that. I'm advocating for people to start small businesses, to create stuff. You're advocating for them to stay in the shadows and hide away from the federal government. I think that just leads to more people getting involved with crime. Yeah, but Donald Trump isn't sniffing young girls. You're right, he's raping them. You're right, I forgot about that. Mark, did you see the 50 pages that the DOJ just released after massive pressure from the public? Did you see that? There's a lot of accusations against Trump there, and the FBI must have thought she was credible because they interviewed her 4 times. That's a lot of times, in my opinion, MAGA. Yeah, Biden broke them. They have Biden derangement syndrome. I like Biden. He never fell off. He never fell over. Well, I look at policy. I know you guys like to look at like quick little short tidbits, but I look at policy. And when you look at policy, Joe Biden was a badass and got a lot of amazing policy through. Yep, saw the unredacted video. Oh, I haven't seen any of that. I didn't know there was an unredacted video. Do you believe in verification of evidence and accusations before declaring guilt? Well, I don't think people take what this guy on the internet has to say too seriously. But I think there's pretty compelling evidence to show that Donald Trump has a history of this type of behavior. So, yes? Or no? I do not. Biden! I know. It's okay, guys. It's okay. He's not in your... Biden's not here anymore, okay? He is off beating cancer's ass. Or he's already beat cancer's ass. He's off railing his wife right now. You don't have to worry about him. We're talking about Donald J. Trump right now and why he is hurting America. I know Biden is very scary to you guys. Very scary. Giving you a like and lurking. Good luck. Hey, well, thank you so much, Pars. I really appreciate that. And the only reason why you people hate Biden is because of Fox and idiots that they're told you to do so. Exactly. Biden was an amazing president. Biden probably ate too many children. Well, I don't think Biden... I haven't seen any references to Biden in the Epstein files. Biden was an amazing president. As a matter of fact, presidential historians rate Biden as number 14 in presidents of all time. So, he was pretty badass, ladies and gentlemen. Go Trump 2028. See, I love when people say stuff like that because it's never going to happen. Trump is going to be a frumpy dumpy by then. He's already basically a shell of his former self. You know, low energy, low T. It's very obvious. And he's not going to win. So, and if you do run Trump, we'll just run Obama, dude. And you'll get smashed. So, ladies and gentlemen, I love when people say Trump 2028. Because it builds up expectations for something that's never going to happen. But MAGA, feel free to call in. It's not that hard. You just dial the number right there. I know. It's when you swipe off the screen, it does get rid of my face, but you just have to have that quick memory to just dial that number and call in. Yes, he is very low energy. Did you see him shit his pants the other day? Very embarrassing. Should we believe lying white Karens accusing a black man of guilt before verifying? What are you even talking about? Love your demeanor, bro? Well, thank you. I appreciate that, John Fitzpatrick. Trump has both bad and good. Well, I think the bad far outweighs the good. He's dividing America. He's creating less jobs. Level-headed and calm? Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Democrats are a shame! Oh, geez. Oh, geez. We're a shame. Are a shame of the country. Have been since they fought for slavery and segregated. See, what's interesting is you guys have to go back all the way back then to find bad stuff the Democrats did. All we have to do is just point to Trump's recent policies. What good does he have? I think the Trump accounts were a good idea, although they definitely preference people who are far more well off than they do people who are more poor. You know exactly what I'm talking about. I don't. Please enlighten me. Please enlighten me. Going to sleep? All the best to you, bro. Take care. Hey, it was good seeing you. I really appreciate you. Crack a fucking book. The Democrats are the South. No, see, the parties did do a switch. The parties did do a switch. Seems like you yourself may need to crack open a book. Limptards? Oh, no. Oh, no. Ohio? Any calls yet? Not yet. MAGA is very afraid today. I don't think they have a reason to be. I'm a very welcoming, and I don't see. I save my extreme heat for content creators. I don't really yell at MAGA too much. They realigned. Yes, they realigned to the Republicans taking the racist votes and taking up all the Dixiecrats, and the Democrats saying they wanted nothing to do with that. But I do think that the Democrats have a lot to offer our rural brothers and sisters. Infrastructure reform, affordability, bringing the affordability down. I mean, we have a lot to offer. What do the Republicans have? Just some gerrymandered districts? Just a bunch of bathroom bills that don't actually affect anybody's life? I wouldn't vote for that. I would vote for the party that's telling me they're going to bring down my affordability. You scum! You have been trying to convince people it's Republicans who are what Democrats were for hundreds of years. That's evil shit. That's the switch you say happened, but no Republican lets down into black. Well, all I know is in recent history, David Duke supported Donald Trump in his 2016 presidency. So it seems to me that while we may have a very checkered past, you guys are fully embracing the racist rhetoric. What was that about the recent DHS ads about taking back our land? Sounds a little interesting. I wonder where they got that phrase from. Listen, if you want to have an argument about how much more racist the Republicans are, go ahead, but I'm going to talk within the recent 30 years of history, okay? Who the fuck is David Duke? That is embarrassing. That is embarrassing. You can twist history all you want, but the truth is, I love America, bro. What are you talking about? I love America. America's the best place to live in the entire world. I get a lot of shit from my European viewers for saying that, but I don't care. I love America. It's the best place in the entire in the entire world. I love my state as well, Kansas. We decided slavery, not an option here. Wow, this is sad. Well, come school me with your knowledge instead of being a keyboard warrior, my friend. David Duke is not just a white racist. David Duke was the head of the KKK. He's not just a prominent racist. He is a lot more than that. I'm sure white Democrats were the ones to create black racists. I'm sure it wasn't the racist policies of the 90s that were spearheaded often by Republicans. I'm sure it wasn't that. Wow, we got a lot of people who are very good at typing on their phones. Congratulations for the thumb health. I'm very proud of you. But I do implore you to try and pick your brain a little more and call in. It's not that hard. I was talking about the David, the person who didn't know who David Duke was. Oh, I apologize. Sorry, I can't tell inflections and stuff from chats, you know. I am Iranian. Stay triggered. Oh, I'm sure you're very Iranian. Why don't you call in and tell us how much better things are now that your country is being bombed? Please enlighten us about the popular resistance front that is forming right under our eyes. Please, I would love to hear. If you believe this is so beneficial for the Iranian people, then you would obviously want to call in, right? By the way, Mary, how are you using the internet? How are you using the internet? You realize it's down right now, right? How are you using it? The KKK are sissies. When's the last time they did anything? Well, I wouldn't want their support personally, and if somebody wanted to throw their support behind me, and they had a horrible past like the KKK, I would most fervently and as hard as I can say fuck that man. So, oh yeah, freedom for women in Iran is a really bad thing. That's not what this is going to come to. This isn't coming to freedom. They've already elected their new supreme leader, their new Ayatollah. The bombs didn't do anything to stop that. As a matter of fact, the bombs are doing nothing but encouraging the Iranian regime to be more and more horrible to their people. I hate the Iranian regime. I think they are the most disgusting, one of the most disgusting regimes on the planet. Oh, you live outside of Iran. Okay, got you. Got you. Yes, the Iranian diaspora are typically very behind these strikes, but they don't live there right now. Man, if I knew you were live, I would have asked Mina to send her viewers this way. That's okay. We've got more than enough people pouring in here. Obviously, the Iranian is not in Iran, dude. Probably fled due to persecution. Okay, well, thank you. It sounded to me like he was messaging from inside, so I just wanted to verify he was not. Oh, the KKK are a game Democrats play. I'm sorry, it is unfortunate that you guys are very associated with the far right. I apologize that is an inconvenient fact for you guys, but I would just denounce them. But then again, they're not going to vote for you if you do that, so kind of an iffy game you're playing there. Unfortunately, the American people are more than upset with the way your party has been running things, so I'm not afraid. Trump is bombing a girls' school. Yes, there has been more evidence to come out that was indeed a U.S. strike, which is so embarrassing for our military, which is supposed to be the #1 in the world. We don't make mistakes like that. And now it's coming out that we may have bombed a second school? This is disgraceful. This should never be happening in the American military. Neo-Nazi support Trump's. That is Trump's base. Yeah. Democrat blue. Let's go, monkey. Hell yeah, dude. We're sweeping these midterms like a broom. Like a broom, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my goodness. My friend, I'm not going to believe you are actually from Iran unless you call in and regale me about how your family is celebrating. No, I think, Debbie, you have TDS because you seem to be unable to criticize Trump in any aspect besides the lightest of criticisms. It's very sad. It was not confirmed it was an IRGC rocket. I think we're hitting on the issue here. See, people like Mercy Fullwolf, they get inundated with a large amount of misinformation. And when misinformation permeates throughout your entire feed, that's your reality. He's living in a hyper reality. No, my friend, Iranian people are not celebrating on the streets. They're too afraid they'll get bombed. Damn, I almost predicted Michael Johnson's questions here. Or answers. This is all cope, and I feel extremely bad for you, MAGA, that you seem to think that bombing people is going to be the way we change the Iranian regime. Listen, if we were actually competent, we would have sent in the CIA to establish cells that could transfer weapons to the Iranian resistance. We're not serious about this. We don't care about the Iranian people. This is simply for a political dub from Donald Trump, and it's something the the Trump administration has been orienting for near on a decade now, so... misinformations threads through assumption-based claims. These are not assumption-based claims. Would you like me to bring up articles verifying that it is indeed a U.S. missile that struck that school? Just look at the videos. Even CNN reported it. Oh, interesting. So if I go to CNN right now, you're telling me I'm going to see a video saying it's confirmed that that rocket was IRGC? I don't think so. Striking Gulf nations. Yeah, I'm not. Russia is helping Iran target U.S. Yeah, that's a real bad L for Donald Trump. Chinese whistleblower reveals how China spies on people. No, I'm sure Donald Trump is getting right on top of that, guys. I'm sure of it. Anyways, MAGA, feel free to call in. You know, we've got a lot of keyboard warriors here today. And while I do advocate for finger health, I believe it's just sad. It's sad you're not able to defend your ideas. All the prices went up more while Trump has been president. Amen. Grocery prices have not come tumbling down. As a matter of fact, gas has shot up to almost $3.50 a gallon. Remember, these were the same people complaining about how Biden's gas prices were astronomical. Well, guess what? You're going to have to deal with that now, too. Hello, finger help? Yeah, we got to advocate for exercising the fingers, you know? This channel was brought to you by the Democrat Leering Center. Please, can you please point me to any arrests that have happened due to Nick Shirley's video? I bet you can't. But I'd love to see you try. Please do try. What's sad is no one wants to talk to you. I agree. I think it is sad that MAGA is unable to contend with facts and logic. I feel bad. Someday, MAGA, someday you will have the ability. By the way, thank you guys so much for the likes and the subs. We hit 15 likes already. That's huge. Thank you guys so much. Keep it up. You guys are absolutely killing it. If you want to support this stream even further, feel free to donate to my Ko-Fi. It's linked in my channel and the description of this video. I also have it pinned as a comment, but I know you're not able to click links on mobile. So, I was paying 6 when Biden was president. I got it. I'm not MAGA chump. Oh, yes. Now you're... See, I know what you are. You're too ashamed to call yourself MAGA because Donald Trump has failed on almost every aspect. But you still identify with the conservative movement. So you have to cope and say, I'm not MAGA. I'm just a MAGA light. And it's like, my friend, you're MAGA. When Trump became president, Putin did say that Trump demanded in his crony diaries dippers. How can Putin know that before the people? Yeah. Well, I think it's because the dossier that came out so many years ago was probably onto something. The fact that Democrats cannot run... What are you talking about? We can run the policy. We can absolutely destroy any Republican policy that comes up. What policy do you guys have? We have policy to bring down the affordability. We have policies to address our growing manufacturing issues. What do you have? We have policies that address infrastructure, something rural towns need right now is they need infrastructure reform. They're so tired of Republicans selling them a box of lies every day. They're sick of it, and I don't blame them. I'm not a socialist. I'm a liberal, my friend. There is a difference. I know it's hard to imagine parties having different stances. I know it's all MAGA'd out there, so... Economy has always been better under Democrats. That is a fact. Oh, fuck yeah, dude. We're the only ones to ever bring down the deficit. Libtards suck! Well, I disagree, my friend. I think liberals are leading the conversation when it comes to things like freedoms and rights. I see conservatives just cowering and rarely engaging in debate these days. It's pretty sad. It's pretty sad. Well, Nay, I'm so sorry to hear that you think that about your fellow American who is just engaging in his right to politically protest. I'm sorry it hurts your feelings. You're a fake Christian? Yeah, I mean, my mom is she is a very Christianly woman, and she agrees that this MAGA cancer is just performative Christianity. The deficit was a non% on the Democrats. What are you talking about? No, Bill Clinton lowered the deficit, and so did Obama, so... Here is a fact. Trump has not been charged in any... Yes, he has. He's a convicted felon. A convicted felon, my friend. I did everything right and they indicted me. Remember that? There's the problem. You're a Christian. No, I'm not a Christian, my friend. I do not believe in the Christianity. But I know people that do, and I don't disrespect them for it. I know a lot of Americans are, so why would I be against religion? It's pretty insane. He's gay. Trump? Yes, I do believe he does have an attraction towards males, but that's fine, so do I. Are the only Republican presidents, some have gone to war with other countries. Yeah, it's kind of becoming like a theme here now. Bush, now Trump. I don't think the American people are going to vote for a Republican for a while after the performance he's been showing. Yes, you are. You're just ashamed. No, my friend, I'm not a Christian. That's a sin to say you're not a Christian and be a Christian. I was just raised in a Baptist household, my friend. But I'm sorry that you guys are so triggered by my freedom of speech. Please feel free to call in and tell me why I'm so wrong. More unintelligent idiots again. Blah, blah, blah crap. Get a life and keep enjoying the oh, hold on. And keep enjoying your rapists and murderers and drug pushers. Oh, like Donald Trump? Donald Trump has pardoned drug pushers. Donald Trump has pardoned rapists. Donald Trump has does himself have allegations of R-wording a 13 to 15 or a 14 to 15-year-old. Feel free to call in, MAGA. It's not hard. The phone line is open. You know, it's we've been live for about an hour now, and we don't have anything to show for it. No, I think the weakest generation is the generation that sucked on the teat of the greatest generation for fucking years, and then got benefits from being the children of the greatest generation, and didn't make any jobs for the rest of us. I'd say that is a weak generation. You just prove I'm right. All right, Alan. Please enlighten us. Please enlighten everybody here on how Donald Trump is the coolest person in the world. They're scared to call you? Well, I know. I have... it's hard for MAGA to talk to somebody who actually knows the facts. And I just feel bad for them. I've called into many MAGA panels and made fun of them and held my own, so I don't think it's that hard. Anyways, you're the weakest generation? I'm sure. This man is slopped to his phone. The weakest generation. This man is the weakest. The weakest generation. I'm sick of you. It's very sad. It's very sad. Remember to wipe the sweat off your chin. Remember to wipe your sweat off the chin, because that is important. It can get damp in there, man, and it'll really it'll cause sores and all sorts of things. So get up, stretch your limbs out. I know going outside is a bit of a difficult task, but I believe in you, honestly. People are saying, get the Antichrist out of the White House. Well, I don't know if he's necessarily the Antichrist, but he does have some fitting it's got some interesting similarities, let's say, to the Antichrist. But MAGA, feel free to call in. I'm, it's always open and ready for you. And now, Reject Mass Psyop says the most sad thing of all. Get a job. Listen, you don't have to project your insecurity of not having a job onto me, my friend. I'm sorry people find me entertaining. Trump is hurting America? Right? Well, yes, he's hurting America. Do you disagree? Feel free to call in and tell me why I'm wrong. I'm a pretty nice guy, so I'm not going to be as bombastic, If you're scared to talk to Dean, I might be a good replacement. I understand having the, well, I don't understand it, but I've witnessed it many times, so I can handle your MAGA soy out, and I won't make fun of you too much, so don't worry, I'm here for you guys. Trump is the best president of my life? Oh, so you must be very young. Well, remember, to be in live chat, you can't be, you have to be older than the age of 18, and to call in as well. So remember that. It's your fate face. Thank you, I appreciate that. I've always been told that I have a very great smile, and to say it's fate-like, I appreciate that, man, I do. DumDum666 says, fucking niptards! Thank you, Dum. We appreciate that. Trump was at the Western Wall. Oh, I'm not going to read that. That is... one moment. All right. A president with balls and a first lady without them. No, Donald Trump does not have, I don't think anything down there is working, my friend, unfortunately. Merciful, who are you? Oh, got you. Talking to someone in chat. Okay, so this is actually a perfect example of what I find so sad about the right. Guys, read this and tell me this isn't some of the saddest shit in the world. I support Trump to piss off the soft-handed fucked like you. I don't support my politicians just because they make another person mad. I support my politicians because they have good policy that actually has meaningful effect on my life. I see MAGA is roasting tonight. Oh yeah, they're cooking it. They're cooking it right now. Good to see you, Mud Butters. Good to see you. By the way, if you guys are enjoying the stream, don't forget to like and subscribe. It really helps out the channel and gets me boosted out there. I do 2 shows every day where I talk about the news and politics. My first show starts at 10 a.m. and typically ends around 2 a.m., 3 p.m. And that's where we game and talk about the news and do a little research. And then at 6 p.m., I do this stream where I try to debate MAGA. Unfortunately, they are very cowardly today. It's been almost an hour and not one of them has called in. And I know they're seeing it because they're up in the chat. So unfortunately, it is very hard to defend Donald Trump right now, especially after his invasion of Iran, which he said, no new wars. No new wars, he said. By the way, there's a software that lets you put these comments on the screen. Yeah, I'm probably gonna get that here soon. I obviously redid the interface today, so I can do that here soon. Still can't find anyone that can give you one thing Obama did for 8 years. Dude, what are you... He did the Affordable Health Care Act. Iranians do not support Trump. Iranians don't support their government. That doesn't immediately mean that they support Trump. And if anything, we're making a more radical and a more militant IRGC. So I don't know what you guys are seeing as a dub. You've never been laid, have you? Well, actually, funny story. You should ask your mom about how my experience with my sexual experience with women is. She would regale you about quite a fun tale. So get up there, Skipper. And honestly, you should call your mom. What was your name again? You should call your mom, Todd, because she misses you, man. And she's very, I don't want to use the word ashamed. She's concerned because you never leave your room, man. What's going on with that? All red states but one are takers. They take money from blue states to operate. Amen. The red states would not exist and their policies would not be nearly as extreme if the left didn't fund them. Obama also bought us out of the recession. Amen. He's a goddamn lib Chad, and MAGA is definitely afraid of him because they know if they keep saying Trump 2028, we'll say Obama 2028, and you guys will be screwed. Shit, we could even say Obama Newsom. It's over. It's over. Pack the bags. Unfortunately, Eric, I don't have the same family dynamic as you, so I don't have to worry about that. But, I think you should see a therapist, honestly, man. That's not healthy to be banging your mom. Not good for you. Trump has gorgeous women, not girls. That is not how you spell gorgeous, but, I don't know. The FBI seems to disagree with you as they interviewed a witness 4 times that said she was a victim of Donald Trump's abuse. And it was only after the public was demanding these files. I had MAGA coming in my chat saying that was fake. That would never happen. No, this is fake news. Well, what do you know? They immediately get dropped. And what does MAGA do? What does MAGA do? They ignore it. Matt, I'm sorry, but even though you type it, it doesn't make it any truer. Nope, you are 100% correct. He is fucking our country. Thank you, I appreciate that. Sorry I did the dumb voice when I read nope. Sometimes you never know when MAGA's firing. But hell yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. By the way, if you guys are enjoying the stream and you want to support me, I do have a Ko-Fi link. It's pinned in the comments, in the description, and on my channel. Feel free to donate there. And if you want to do something for free, just feel free to like and subscribe. Maybe share it if you're feeling fancy. Am I a race traitor? I don't think so. I don't really believe in like. I think the idea of judging people based on their race is pretty disgusting. And so, if that's something you like to do, then, and I'm a traitor if I don't, then yes, I'm a race traitor. There was collusion with Russia? Yes, there was. A Republican-led investigation confirmed it. If you still support Trump, I have to assume you're either a PDF, support cruelty, or are incredibly weak-minded. Well, I think a lot of people voted for Donald Trump based off lies and the wealth of misinformation pouring out of his mouth daily. And I think that they are really regretting their vote now as they see Donald Trump betray the American people. You have an IQ of 140? Well, I have an IQ of 146, so get fucked, loser. Get wrecked. Bet you weren't expecting that, buddy boy. Hey, what's up, Lynn? How are you doing today? No regrets here? No, it's okay. Some people are still coping, and some people continually cope until it's evident. And I expect many of MAGA to be the same. Would I have preferred Kamala? Yes! Kamala Harris would not be attacking Iran right now. Kamala Harris would have introduced policy that prevented companies like Amazon, Walmart, Dollar General from price gouging and artificially inflating prices, which they do almost on the daily now. She would have held Israel to a much higher standard than Donald Trump does. Donald Trump just says, let it all happen. Let it all go. At least Kamala Harris and Biden handed him a ceasefire. Same can't be said for Donald Trump. Well, how is he hurting America? Where you been staying in your mom's basement? No, I'm actually in your mom's basement. And you need to call her, man. It's been a while. She misses you. Kamala is for peace? Damn right. But she flatlined on border control? No, not at all. Kamala Harris and Joe Biden together took the number of borders encounter from 300,000 to 60,000 by the end of his presidency. I've already mentioned multiple times, Ronald, how Donald Trump is hurting America. I think it's incredibly sad that you guys still feel the need to defend this clown when he's basically betrayed all of his promises he made on the campaign trail. Trump is a chomo? Yes, he is. Anyways, stop lying. The border was open because of them. Well, my friend, we had incredibly low unemployment, and so because of that, Joe Biden took advantage of the wealth of labor at our border. However, he heard that the American people were not very happy about that, so he got the number of border encounters from 300,000 to 60,000 by the time he left office. Not only that, but we've got a call coming in. Continue that point later.
Call from
Chris.
One
to
moment.
accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
Accept, all right. Hey, Chris, how are you doing today?
I'm good, man.
Well, that's good to hear. So, do you disagree with the prompt that Trump is hurting America?
I don't think he's hurting America.
I got you. I got you. Well, I actually have a couple of things we can get into. For example, these Epstein files, I know that a lot of MAGA was very supportive of the Epstein files coming out and even supportive of the Epstein Files Transparency Act. However, Donald Trump has still, and his DOJ have still refused to release a large amount of those files. And just recently, in recent news, there's the 50 pages of interview the FBI had with one of his victims, or one of Jeffrey Epstein's victims, that claims that Donald Trump molested her. And they interviewed her 4 times. So obviously, they think she's at least slightly credible.
Wait, what?
Oh, essentially, how do you feel about the Epstein files? Are you disappointed, or do you not really, how do you feel about them?
Um, well, how long have they been having the files?
Well, if you mean
What
like, what
did
do you
did they
mean?
have it during Biden's term?
Yes, but Biden had an active investigation going on during his entire
That
term. Actually, he brought charges against more charges against Ghislaine to get her locked up longer.
okay, but they had every. I mean, there's like nothing changed. They were still investigating until the last day he got out. I don't. I mean, I'm just saying, like,
Yeah.
if they had the then they weren't obviously doing a good job if it took them 4 years to investigate nothing and wait for the
Well,
man to
a
get
lot of what's
reelected.
in the files are not necessarily things that can be you can't have an indictment with a lot of these things. It's much more spread out and you don't know. We could have They could have been working on a case against Donald Trump, but that all ended when Pam Bondi put out that 2-page memo during the Texas floods saying they're no longer investigating anybody and the case has been dropped.
Okay, well then what? Like if that's the end result, what can you do about it? What's the point of, you know, going
Well,
on and on about it?
I think Jeffrey Epstein had a lot of powerful people and a lot of friends in powerful places. And I think that there has been a miscarriage of justice. I personally think there is evidence within the Epstein files for maybe not necessarily Donald Trump, although that changes by the daily, but much more for people like, oh, who's the name? The name of the financier? I forget. Leslie Wexner. People like him, or Les Wexner. There we go. We have more than enough evidence to indict, at least question people like him. But the victims themselves have said that they haven't even talked to this DOJ once.
Well, yeah, sure. I mean, personally, my overview of that is that, yeah, I mean, if they had the evidence or whatever to grill Trump or to get rid of him to finish it, they would have did that during Biden's term. So I really think it's like you said, it's just a distraction.
Well, I disagree. I don't. This is the largest sex trafficking organization or sex trafficking operation the United States has ever seen. This has massive ramifications for how we treat powerful people who abuse children going forward. We can't turn a blind
Well,
eye to these people who have committed heinous acts and, for all we know, may still commit heinous acts.
I mean, sure, I'm not disagreeing or agreeing with it. I don't know.
Yeah, for
I think
sure.
there's bigger fish to fry. In my personal opinion, I don't think Trump's involved because, like I said, if they had the evidence on him, they would have grilled him. But
Well,
I
I
do
do want
think
to.
I
Can I
do.
address that point real quick? Because I know
Sure.
for a fact I was upset with Merrick Garland because he didn't go after Trump. And I think that there's a reason for that. Biden's DOJ wanted to stay as far away from the administration as possible so we could get back to a sense of normalcy. You know, it's not normal to, it's not normal, for example, for the DOJ to seek a grand jury indictment and not get it. However, the Trump administration has failed time and again to get grand jury indictments for people like James Comey and Letitia James.
All right. I don't know. I
I,
mean, to
I,
be honest, I think there's bigger fish to fry than that.
well, okay. What about, how do you feel about the war in Iran right now? Are you feeling positive, negative, kind of neutral towards it?
Because we've been with these people for decades, and like nobody's done anything about it. And now Trump's finally it. So maybe when he gets out, by that time, it's handled and we can move on. Which I think the politicians might just get us back into some more bullshit. But I mean, I think it's good that he's trying to handle it now.
So I will say I am no fan of the Ayatollah. That man is fucking insane. And I'm not a fan of his son either, who just got elected. The Ayatollah, extremely repressive regime, the IRGC as a whole, I think should be dismantled. However, the way we're going about it is not going to bring the results I think a lot of people want to see. I think if we were smart, we would have had our CIA infiltrate way before we did anything like bombing. We would have established uh, weapon routes, and we would have gotten the people weapons so they can actually do a resistance. Because the issue in Iran right now is that the IRGC owns all the means to defend themselves. The people don't have guns. That's why I love our Second Amendment. But the people don't have guns. And so if we're just bombing them without really providing a popular front, it's going to do a lot. It has potential to do a lot of things. You know, the IRGC could consolidate. There could be a fracturing. You know, we really don't know what could happen, but the least likely outcome of that is a popular uprising for democracy, in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't understand why this half of our side of the world is even involved in over there. We got enough resources in America to take care of America for the next
Oh yeah,
1,000 years.
yeah.
Like why are we even over there worried about how goods are transported through the strait? That's what it all comes down to, I
Oh
believe, is
yeah.
how the
It's
goods are
definitely
coming through.
a lot to do with the Strait of Hormuz because that's where most of the world's oil comes from, and now we're seeing rising gas prices because of this conflict. Listen, I
Yeah, well, I mean,
really
we have.
oh, go on.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, no, you're good, brother.
I mean, we have enough resources in America, gas. We could supply the world's gas for the next 100 years, no problem, just with America's reserves alone. As I read, we got lumber, we have food, we
Oh
have
yeah.
fishing, we have land, we water. We shouldn't need that. We shouldn't be in this position we're in at all. So that's why I commend Trump. I support him since day one. Since I read The Art of the Deal, to be honest with you, right when I got out of high school.
Mm-hmm.
So, um, yeah, I
Well,
think
hey, you
everything he's
know.
doing, he's not perfect. Everybody, of course, he ruffles some people's feathers, but I don't look at somebody that's a leader like my boss at work. I don't look at him as somebody I need to get along with or like, but as long as he's leading and making us money and doing what he's supposed to do and treating everybody fairly, that's what I look at. That's what I look at the country as a business.
Well, number one, I think we need strong leaders, and I think Trump is a strong leader for one half of the country, but he hates the other half. You know, as a Democrat, I found it pretty shocking when he said things like, "I hate all Democrats" and Charlie Kirk died because of Democrats. I found that very shocking because when Charlie Kirk got uh, unalived, it scared me because I knew that this meant that America has entered a new phase of politics that's much more violent. And I didn't see any Democratic leaders celebrating Charlie Kirk's death, but Donald Trump said that he died because of us.
Well, I
And
mean, if let's just look at it, kind of just use an example. If you had a group of people that hated you personally, no matter what, no matter what you did, you can't win with them. Are you still gonna love them and like them and want to see the best for them? Let's be honest.
well, As a president, I would say yes. I would say a lot of the American population may not like me, but my job isn't to be liked. My job is to run the country efficiently and make sure that this union grows stronger. And I just don't think Donald
Well,
Trump is interested in that.
I mean, that's true, but at the same time, like we're just speaking on opinion and feelings. I don't think that has to do with the leadership. Like again, like my boss,
Well,
he
it
probably doesn't like
does. No,
everybody at the
it
job.
totally does. Yeah, it totally does because a good leader isn't going to degrade. They're not going to insult. They're going
Well,
to
I don't need
find
to like
value.
somebody to do what's right. You feel me? I don't need to like you to like say if I'm in charge of a business and you work for me, I don't need to like you to make sure you get more money in your pocket and take care of you, right?
But that's not true, is it? Because you do need to work with the other side. You can't
I don't know. I know
just,
my boss at work. He don't like a lot of people that he works with, but I mean, he comes up and does what he's supposed to do.
yeah, so is your boss, is it, or is your workplace a democratic workplace where people elect people?
Um, I mean, I don't think so. No,
Yeah,
I work
I
at
don't
Home
think so.
Depot at
It's
night.
much more of like a kind of a pyramid system. It's not exactly like that, but it's much more top down, and that's because companies can have they want as much control, and that makes sense because it's their company. However, this is our country, and we have a certain set of rules and regulations, and one of the rules is you got to get along with the other side to get your policy done.
I mean, I agree with that. I think the man's done that though, hasn't
I
he?
don't
I
think
mean,
so.
he's the second president to ever be elected non-consecutive terms.
Yeah.
Like obviously he's up against back against. So I just think 99.99% of people that are at more than that, basically 100%, less than 0.01% of the population could actually do that job and actually go through what Trump has been through.
Well, I
Because
don't
think
think
about
Trump
it.
is doing it well. I think Trump is not
I
doing
mean,
very
whether he's
well at
doing it
all.
well, like I mean, I don't like Biden to be honest, but I gotta respect him because he still became the president. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but
He has to be intelligent at some level.
yeah, and I think Biden was a good president. I'm sure we disagree on that. But, you saw people complaining about Biden almost every day of their of his presidency. So,
Right.
I think it's all right to criticize the president, and I encourage even under a Democratic president, we need to expect our leaders to act a certain way, in my opinion.
I mean, I don't I guess I mean that's all subjective and objective to my opinion.
Well,
As
if
long as they're
when the
getting the
president,
job done.
yeah, go on.
I mean, yeah, like I said, I just don't understand the hysteria and like I mean, I just think that people just like the division is insane. It's like
Oh
absolutely
yeah.
crazy that people just if you look at the phone and you hate the person you're looking at, like looking at the president or whoever, if you hate that person, there's something wrong with you. That doesn't even, if you hate somebody that doesn't even know you exist, there's something wrong with you.
Well, I don't yeah, I don't hate anybody. I believe empathy is an important part of politics, even though there's been a huge wave to say that's not the case. I empathize and I see where you're coming from. A lot of people were hurting around, especially in the economic department during Trump's run. And he promised that he would bring gas prices down, he would bring groceries down, he'd end the Ukraine war. And I don't see him delivering on that. And so, and I empathize with you, man. I don't think you're a scumbag or anything like that. I appreciate you as my fellow American.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, I don't know. I don't see the why people are so hell bent and like out of control about it. Like he was supposed to blow the world up. Trump was supposed to end the world when he first got elected, and what happened? Nothing happened. It's all the
Well,
same
I
thing.
don't think
The
he's,
world still goes on.
yeah,
But
I
there are
think our
people that think
democracy
he's
is strong.
absolutely
So,
evil. There are people out there that are just out of control with it. That's a
well,
fact.
I think our democracy is strong, and I think in the midterms, personally, we're going to see a blue wave, as the kids say, and I think a lot of the people who are doomsaying and saying it's all over and saying our country is falling apart, I think they'll be a little more reaffirmed by that, by seeing more representation of our party. You know what I mean?
No, I mean the Republicans are bad, but the Democrats are just completely off the wall.
Well, why is that? Why do you say that?
I mean, look at all the things they push. They push the
What are you
Black
talking
Lives
about?
Matter, the trans thing. They make
Well,
white people want to hate themselves just for existing. They just divide. Everything's a flag and the thing. And the right does that too, but it's way weirder on the left.
I disagree. I as a representative of the left, I am totally accepting, and I don't push what do you mean by the trans stuff, for example? Because I believe personally that surgeries should wait until they're 18. I'm okay with temporary reversible gender affirming hormones, but I'm not necessarily okay with irreversible stuff, only in extreme cases. You know what I mean? However, if you listen to the right, you would think that I want to transify the children and turn them gay. You know what I mean? I think that's a sensible approach, personally.
Well, let's just look at it. Up until like what it was in '93 or '98, one in the '90s, being trans was a mental illness, right? It
Yeah,
was
much like being
classified as
gay,
a mental disorder.
much like being gay in the past.
Yeah, in the '90s, which 30 years ago, 40 years ago, which isn't crazy long ago, right? Like that's what it was up until then. And now
Hmm.
it's all normalized and everywhere you go. I mean, I feel like it's coming back a little bit, but like people are starting to realize like, whoa, this is fucked up. But like why what so is a trans trying to be like say for a guy that is born a man is trying to be a woman? Is that its
Hmm.
own thing or are they trying to look like a woman? Why are you trying to look like why are you like when a
So,
baby's born,
yeah,
a baby's in
no,
pink, right?
yeah, I get what you're
What
saying. So the
why are you
best,
trying to look like a
yeah.
woman if you're your own thing? If you're your
So
own
I,
gender? Why are
I'm
you
not,
trying to look like this gender?
I'm not personally trans.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is talking from a place of somebody who isn't trans, but from the way they describe it, gender dysphoria is looking in the mirror and not being comfortable in your own skin. And for me that would be horrible. I couldn't imagine looking in the mirror every day and seeing, my name's Cade, so not seeing Cade, seeing somebody completely different. That would be extremely hard for me. And if somebody's 18 and they want to do something with their body, it's their right to do it. You know what I mean?
But
And
they push it on
especially,
children. They push it
well,
on
how are they
children
pushing
though.
it on children exactly?
With the what was it the gay BCs, the trans story
Oh, the
time.
gay
I mean,
VCs. I haven't heard of that. That sounds like an interesting one, though.
yeah, I mean, it was selling at books, and I mean, where I read that like in schools, like if
So,
kids were thinking about those types of things, that they didn't even tell their parents that they were counseling them about
yeah.
that. I mean, that should be
So,
life in prison, to
most
be
of
honest with you.
these So most of these books that are explaining how, kind of in graphic detail, how homosexual and heterosexual, there are books that do the same thing, but heterosexual relationships, they're much more explaining the relationship dynamic to somebody who doesn't quite understand it. So this is, in my opinion, lagging for some reason. Oh,
Hello?
hello? It seems
Yes,
oh yeah, I lagged out there for a minute. I apologize, man. Can you still hear me?
yes.
All right. So the way I describe it, I talked about the mirror bit there, but for these books, they're a way to explain a relationship dynamic to a wide variety of people. For example, if you are gay and you're not, and you live in a very religious household, nobody's going to tell you exactly how uh, gay sex works or exactly how a gay relationship is supposed to happen. And so I'd personally prefer them go to these books rather than going on somewhere like P Hub, X Videos, and learning to do a relationship dynamic like that. Oh, my phone just died. I apologize. I can keep the conversation going, but my screen may go dark. I apologize for that, guys. We can still keep talking though if you'd like.
Sure.
All right, there. But that's how I would explain that.
Yeah,
And so
man. I
the
don't know. It's just it's weird. It's pushed on kids and stuff, and I don't know. It's out of pocket.
well, I disagree. It's a lot, in this day and age, I think there's a lot of bad examples of relationships. And so I think if a book is telling uh, a
But
kid,
like it went from like okay, we accept you to now it's being pushed by the government. It's normalized. It's in cartoons and kids shows, into books. Now it's in the education. So like they took an inch and went with a mile with it. Now everybody's just supposed to look at it and not have an opinion, just act like it's normal when there's a fucking 6'4" muscular man in a wig and he's looking at kids like I've waited bro,
I've
at restaurants, bro.
I've never met
I've
a trans person like that. I'll just be
Yeah, I'm
honest.
from New Orleans. I'm from New Orleans, bro. Like you see it just going downtown.
Well, if somebody
And
wants
yeah,
to present themselves like that, they have their full right to. In America,
yeah.
you have the right
But
to
I think it's
express
time to
yourself.
end it, bro. It's time to shame it. Like we need to bring
No,
shame
not at
back
all.
and,
I'd
and look at
completely
people like,
disagree with
why
you,
are you
man.
doing that?
I myself am bisexual, so are you advocating for me
Mm,
to have like not have
I
the
don't think there's
ability?
no such thing as bisexual for men. I think you're just
Well,
gay.
I'm not gay. I've had sex with plenty of women, my friend.
But if you've done anything with men, you're gay.
All right. Is that your criticism? Is that it? Is that the
You can
substantive?
call it criticism. You can call it whatever you want. You're an abomination.
Oh, well, that's sweet of you.
Yeah,
Did your
you're
dad
welcome.
touch you when you were older and that's why you have an issue with gay men?
No, not at all. My
Oh,
my
you kind of
parents my
answered
parents
that. You
kept me
kind of
away
answered
from
that a
that.
little weird. What's going on there, man? You got some problems with your daddy?
No,
You got some gay sex going on with your dad? That's weird, man. You should not do that.
I mean
See,
you
I
could do that all
advocate
you
for a
want, but it's
world
just
where
not
you can
true. You
where
could do
you can
that's what y'all
express your
do. Y'all try to flip
homosexuality.
it, but
I
you're the
live
one
in
with
a
the
world where you can
psychological.
express your homosexuality and you don't have to hide it with your daddy.
I mean you're doing
Anyways,
that, but
later.
it's
Homophobe. Anyways, sorry about that, guys. I'm an abomination, apparently. I'm an abomination, ladies and gentlemen. Well, I apologize. We're going to have to wait for my cam to come back on. I really do apologize about that. I'm not going to be, I'm not going to be called an abomination. You know what I mean? Is there seriously cucks defending Trump then? Unfortunately. Hey guys, so sorry about my phone dying. I don't know why it did that. We're getting it back on here though. Yeah, I'm not gonna let myself be called an abomination. You know what I mean? I thought we were having a good conversation and then he just had to go the homophobic route. And that's very frustrating because he's my fellow American, and it's just sad that he thinks people that don't share his opinions screwed. By the way, guys, don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm turning my phone back on here in a moment, so you should be able to see my amazing face here soon. But thank you guys so much for the likes and the subs. You guys are absolutely kicking ass today. If you guys want to see more videos like this, I do I do two shows every day. One in the morning where I do a horizontal stream and game and talk about the news, and then one where it's this stream where I debate MAGA. I am so sorry about my camera dying. I don't know why it decided to do that. Hopefully here soon we can get it up and charging, I should be able to just use the Wi-Fi so I don't have to connect it to my worse charger. Yes, if you like Bylib Tim Pool, subscribe. Oh yeah. You know, next time it's just it's hard to have a conversation when they just think you're a scumbag that is morally repugnant, you know. Kind of hard to have a conversation like that. I know, hard to believe. Hard to believe, but it's true, ladies and gentlemen. It's true. Oh, sorry, I almost dropped all my shit. That would have been bad, but so we prevail. All right, let me get this back up here. Hopefully it won't die. Check the life on this. 3. All right, that's good. Yeah, I use my camera from my phone because I'm this thing called poor, unfortunately. So we're gonna hope this charges while I'm here. It looks to be doing good though. Might be having some lag there, just a little bit, but that's all right. By the way, thank you guys so much for the likes and subscribes. Without you guys, this would not be possible. So, thank you guys so much. If you guys disagree, feel free to call in. Just don't call me an abomination, and I think we're good. It's like teaching a child 2 + 2, for fuck's sake. Yeah, I know. Humans have designed... Oh, geez, here we go. More creationist cope. My son is gay. I love him and his boyfriend so much. Oh, well, that's amazing to hear, Monkey. I'm so glad to hear that, dog. Hell yeah. And I'm sure your son really appreciates the support you're giving them, because especially in a world like this nowadays, it definitely feels like there's an assault on the LGBT. Sorry, one moment. I'm just checking my camera to see if my phone's charging or if it's slowly dying. Well, it seems to be slowly surviving, so I think we're good. I am a creationist, but I don't cope. I still like ladyboys sometime. Well, fuck yeah, dude. Don't we all? Don't we? Maybe not. I don't know. Anyways, ordained by God. Thank you. I appreciate the compliment. I don't think I'm that good, but if you think I'm ordained by God, woo, that is fire. Thank you so much. Thank you guys for the heart reacts and all that. That means the world to me. You guys are absolutely kicking ass today. I think we're up. I don't know how many likes we have right now, but I think we're up pretty high. Let me check real quick. Thank you guys so much again. It is absolutely amazing to see all the love and support. 37 likes. Oh my goodness. You guys are kicking ass today. Thank you so much. That means the world to me, guys. For real. Some of us do. I don't get why others like hair. I don't know. You would have to ask some twink that or something. I don't know. As if Kamala could protect the U.S. Oh, Kamala would have been a badass at protecting the United States from our foreign adversaries, unlike Donald Trump, who is empowering Russia and giving them a free pass with sharing info with Iran. Kind of embarrassing. Excuse me. Let me put this down a little bit. I don't know where to put this. We'll put it on the mic. How about that? Ooh, next level technological advantages here. Hope the change. Oh, thank you so much to whoever donated. Let me check that. We do a little trolling. Let me check that out. Thank you guys so much. That means the world to me. All right, let me reload here. We do a little trolling. Hey, thank you so much, Sans, towards the new camera. Hey, I appreciate that, dog. Sans is going to be getting their very own MS Paint drawing on the next community day because they are that much of a gangster. If you guys want to donate, there is a link to my Ko-Fi in the description, in the channel, and in the comments there. And so feel free, no pressure though. I appreciate any donations that come in through here. Is this the first ever dono? No, there was one dono by Sans the other day, and I very much appreciated it. It makes me smile every time, dog. How many Democrats voted in the last primaries? I don't know, man. Why don't you tell me? Why don't you tell me? Let me get my music playing real quick. Sorry, it's kind of quiet there for a minute. Oh, listen to that. It's like a spring breeze, ladies and gentlemen. Democrats aren't the left. Well, we represent a large majority of the left, and the left typically votes Democrat. So I would say we represent the left. Get a job, get a job to pay your mom some rent. Luckily, I don't have to do that. It would be your mother I actually have to pay the rent to. And I'm able to do that anytime, man. Anytime. She lets me hit it for free, so I haven't really thought about that, but yeah, I probably should pay her. We've been together for a minute now. The person that you just debate pissed me and walked off, calling us abominations. Yeah, it's pretty disgusting and sad. Democrats are centrist at best? I disagree, my friend. If you think there is any amount of similarity between us and the Republican parties, you haven't looked at our policy very well. We support a wide variety of progressive policy and good economic policy, so I highly recommend you guys vote for Democrats. MAGA men love men, not women. Well, it is interesting that Grindr crashes at every major RNC event, but it's probably just a coincidence, right, guys? It's probably just a coincidence. Democrats are radical lefties. See, this is what I don't get. We got some people calling us centrist, some people calling us radical. It's like, make up your mind. Where have I heard this song? This, the entire soundtrack I'm playing is from a video game called Front Mission 4. I played a little bit of it when I started my channel. We need to revisit it at some point, but it's a mech-based game. It's a turn-based mech game that's really fun. I highly recommend it. Our policy, bro, you realize beef jerky is eaten on the left and the right? No. I think you are far better off voting for a Democrat if you care for things like progressive value, freedom of religion, freedom of rights, you know. Yeah, we do have our flaws, I can admit that, but we don't need people pointing out our flaws right now. We have a massive right-wing media machine that is pointing out our flaws every day. Sounds like a FFXIV ambience tune. I don't think I've gotten this far in the soundtrack. Well, a shout out. Damn, I kind of like this one. This is sick. It's like kind of giving me pirate vibes. I think this is around... No, I won't spoil the campaign for you guys. Adolf Trump only cares about Adolf Trump and his billionaire pedophile friends. Well, it is hard to disagree with that, especially when you have Donald Trump pardoning people that are convicted of fraud. How do you think is coming to be the Democrat president candidate? It's really early right now. I mean, front runners are people like Gavin Newsom. My personal pick is Mark Kelly. He comes from a purple district, and so he has a lot of voter appeal to those people that are kind of on the line between Democrat and Republican. But he's been a staunch progressive ally, and so I think Mark Kelly would be an amazing choice for pick for 2024. Hate to break it to you, but there is no left or right. Trust me, they all eat the jerky. Well, it seems like somebody is eating a lot more jerky than one of the others. You know, the party that had the most contributions from wealthy individuals of all time. That's the Republican Party. Oh, jeez. I didn't realize I was sweating. Oh, jeez. Don't tell anybody. Don't tell anybody, okay? This light is very hot, alright? I gotta stand in front of this light for a while. Oops. That's alright. Everybody sweats. So which cannibal am I voting for again? I would be voting for the party that does not support the current pedophile in charge, and that would be the Democrats. And they also have amazing policies. So Trump is trying to fix other countries but can't fix his own. It's kind of funny. I totally agree. I totally agree. It's very sad to see. But by the way, MAGA, if you disagree, feel free to call in and tell me why I'm wrong. I'm not that hard of a person to talk to, honestly. I try to be as kind and empathetic as I possibly can when talking to MAGA. They're unfortunately a very weak and easily triggered set of individuals. I would not support anybody who engaged in cannibalism, my friend. Fortunately, I am not a supporter of cannibalism. I think you'd be kind of hard-pressed to find supporters of cannibalism. But who knows? I could be wrong. There could be an entire infrastructure. Not just votes for cannibals, I guess. Kind of funny that the scary music engaged when we started talking about cannibals. Cannibals. Have USA money to this war? So no Catholics. Yeah, no Catholics are allowed. They engage in cannibalism every time they eat that cracker. They're eating the body of Christ. That's insane. But hey, to each their own, you know? I don't think they're actually eating a real person. That would be scary. Feel free to call in, MAGA. Feel free. The phone line is right there. I'm free for another 2 hours and 20 minutes. I will be here, so feel free. The war has already cost $10 billion. Well, Donald Trump isn't concerned about where we spend our money. He just wants his money. He just wants a bigger portion of our money. That's what the tariffs are. They're the largest wealth transfer in history. Anyways, if you guys are enjoying the stream, don't forget to like and subscribe. I do a show every day, or I do 2 shows every day where I talk about the news and politics. Cannibalism was in the Epstein files. That is true. I haven't seen the exact allegations, but I do know there is accusations of horrible shit. On one of the victims who got caught screaming about what Epstein was doing and was found dead later on. Woke Tim Pool? Aw, heck nah! I'm the right Tim Pool, unfortunately. The Tim Pool you see in front of you is actually a copy of me. He was my clone that they unfortunately let release into the wild before it was ready. And so it's my job to counter Tim Pool's rightoidism. Cannibalism accusation is true, is kind of unbelievable to think about. Yeah, kind of insane, right? Well, it's not verified true, I don't think. I don't know. I think it's an accusation. I don't think there's like hard evidence of the... There wasn't a baby's rib laying on Jeffrey Epstein's table. Gabriel, the kingdom of justice is coming. Oh, my friend, I've been hearing about Jesus coming for about 26 years now. Can you tell him to hurry up? I always go the demonologist route in video games, so I think I'll be more than fine. It's been true for over a decade. My friend, I don't think that, well, I won't speak on that too much, but I don't think it's nearly as ingrained as MAGA or anybody may, or anybody too conspiratorial minded may think, because the reason that it seems like all of the right's politicians are in there is just, I don't know, that is a weird coincidence, isn't it? Bill Clinton was in there. I'm saying send Slick Willie to jail. Jesus said, I ain't coming back. Thoughts on ICE? I believe that ICE needs major reform. I don't know if it can exist in its current capacity. I believe ICE should be a set of well-trained agents and not a paramilitary force. So whatever you would call that. I mean, honestly, at the end of the day, it could be left up to the states. Every president since Reagan, no, my friend, unfortunately, geopolitics are a lot more complicated than Jews bad. I know, hard to believe. It's actually very complicated on the reasonings for a lot of these things. Trump is the fucking GOAT! Haters are idiots. Well, I think you're gonna regret saying stuff like that, because I think it's quite idiotic to accept a federal agents harming our fellow U.S. citizens. I think that's sad. Where are all the babies, the girls in the Epstein files? Well, a lot of them, the ones we know about, a lot of them did grow up and make up the Epstein victims now. However, a lot, you're right, we don't know what happened to them. For example, this individual that accused Trump of sexual misconduct and RA, or SA. My problem with Trump is he's not extreme enough. Well, I have a bad, for all the groypers in chat, I just want to let you know that you will get far more women by just understanding them and talking to them and listening to them than you will by claiming the West is falling. They're not into that type of stuff, man. Christ is Lord! All else is irrelevant. Okay, thank you. Much appreciated. You're an idiot. Grow up. I am grown up. I'm talking about my political opinions like a big boy. Chud losers. Amen. Good to see you, Rhino Raider. Groypers like men. Well, that is very true. They, their head dude, Nick Fuentes, went on a date with a cat boy. And I have no issue with that. That's great. Go on as many dates with cat boys as you want. The problem is he advocates against homosexuality and claims to be this right-wing conservative. Although he even recently has admitted that Democrats are far better than the Republicans right now. So even right-winger groyper Nick Fuentes will say that Donald Trump is bad for America. That's insane. And that you should elect Democrats. I mean, imagine how bad you gotta be messing up for that. You gotta really be fucking some things up. One moment, gamers. They're all... What the fuck is a cat boy? Well, I'm glad you asked. Here. Nick Fuentes cat boy date. Here, we'll just show you together. Remember, Nick Fuentes, not gay. Now, to me, that's a date with a cat boy. And look at how Nick is looking at that. I mean, I think he's in love. I think he's in love. And I advocate for a world where Nick can love the cat. I mean, that is a look of love right there. That is a look of longing that you just don't see every day. I wish my past relationships, my past girlfriends and boyfriends looked at me like this. Good for Nick, right? Good for Nick, honestly. But yeah, Nick went on a date with Catboys. Good for Nick, though, honestly. Good for Nick. Anyways, you kids never pay attention in school, and Nick has weird thumbs. Well, I paid plenty of attention in school. I just didn't like school. Not the biggest fan. I was more interested in like politics, and I went to a small town school, and they just really weren't able to provide. By the way, guys, we are 4 likes short of an all-time record. So if you guys are enjoying the stream, don't forget to like and subscribe. We're super close, and you guys are absolutely killing it today. Thank you guys so much. Trump is a PDF file? Amen, Shima HD1. Amen. Trump is a PDF file. And if you disagree, feel free to call in. Let me know why I'm wrong. I'm here every night, and I have a show in the morning for anybody that is interested, where we game and talk about the news and politics. I also do some research on those days as well. I'm planning a research day to look at the war in Iran, and also to do a little research on the Epstein files. So look forward to that. Yeah, hit the thumbs up, guys. But you guys are absolutely killing it today. I can't tell you how happy I am. On the vertical format meant I couldn't see what you were showing, as chat is in the way. Oh, are you talking about this? Well, it's a good thing that I now have. It's mobile, so I can move it anywhere I need to now. Everyone is a pedophile, maybe in your family. No, my family doesn't have the same dynamics as yours does, my friend. I'm kidding. No, my family are the same dynamics as whoever you're debating with there. Sorry, unfortunately, sometimes... Why am I showing Rossman? Oh, it's just a page I clicked on. Oh, I forgot to do this test about which one's AI and which one's not. I'll probably do that tomorrow for the stream. No, speaking to Steak Fan. Yeah, sorry. I realized that almost immediately. I apologize. Anyways, MAGA, feel free to call in and tell me why I'm wrong. I'm so lonely? Well, you can join our community, friend. If you guys are more interested in updates and seeing what I'm doing, join the Discord. It's in the description and the links in my channel. Feel free. I'd love to see you guys there. Hey, Steak, I like steak too. Steak is amazing. The left has fallen to fools like this. Oh, geez, I'm a fool? I think that's the other way around. Unfortunately, Trump has played you guys for the fool. Spudnik, I remember seeing you way back in the day when I started my channel. You're a #1 fan, my friend. You don't even know how many Democrats voted? Well, why don't you tell me? Tell me if it's such a fact. If it's a factoid, why not tell me? Is it potentially you don't know yourself? How many Republicans voted in the last primary? It's actually pretty pathetic. We should just love? Amen. I agree. I'm the fool! I I am the fool! Apparently, that's how MAGA sees me. It's just very sad that when presented with real information, they cower and hide. Who wants to join my family? That's an odd invitation. Maybe if you offered it in a different way, that wasn't so strange. Anyways, one moment. I'm gonna switch. Actually, we still got some music going on here. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, feel free to call in, tell me why I'm wrong. You know, there's a lot of things the Trump administration is doing that I disagree with. For example, these Iranian strikes aren't going to do anything but foment further resentment for the United States amongst the Iranian population. What real information do I know? I know that more people voted for Kamala Harris or a third party rather than Donald Trump in the 2024 election. I know that for a fact. What else? Trump has shrunken our economy by a massive amount, leading to record job loss. As a matter of fact, we lost 92,000 jobs in the month of February, and those numbers are likely to be revised down. Cost of freedom? Bitch! No, this isn't the cost of freedom. The cost of freedom would be sending our CIA assets into Iran and fermenting a popular uprising. Unfortunately, this is just bombing people. Free Maduro? Well, I don't know about that one. Maduro was a piece of shit. Voting will change nothing. See, I fight against this every day because voting will change your life. If you vote for a Democrat, you will see substantial change in your community and on a national scale. That's not how you spell Joe. That's Jow. Do you know what the broader strategy? I have no idea what you mean by broader strategy. Please enlighten me. Please, MAGA. I'm begging to be enlightened. I need it. I need enlightenment. I'm struggling from TDS, it seems. So maybe a Patriot can come and help me. Well, it seems we got a call, ladies and gentlemen. All right.
Call from.
Good.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
Hey, how are you doing today, man?
Good.
Are you okay? I can't help people that have mental health crises, unfortunately. It's just not, it's not something I'm qualified for, although I highly recommend whoever just called, please go see your mental health, your closest mental health expert. I believe doing that on call in front of what could be hundreds of people isn't very good. F the left? What are you talking about? The left is the only one advocating for real policy. The right, unfortunately, advocates for dividing us further and not getting anything done. I can't support that. It shows because I have it, I know, and I need a MAGA warrior to come tell me why I'm wrong. Unfortunately, they just all seem to be very afraid and unable to. Such a smug little jackass you are. I'm sorry my presence and my ability to freely express my thoughts and opinions hurts your feelings. Maybe you should, I don't know, see a therapist about that, man. 26 people. Hey, shout out. That is huge. Thank you guys so much for the love and support. You guys are the reason that I come here every day and talk to MAGA. So I can help you guys out with your fellow MAGA, because we all have MAGA in our life, that refuse to criticize Donald Trump. The AOC was allowed, I think you mean DNC. Do you mean AOC? because you can't see the broader picture. Well, why don't you come enlighten me and show me the broader picture, friend? 51 likes? Oh my god, that's so badass. Thank you guys so much. You have no idea how much that means to me. Ah, that's super cool. Thank you guys. Sorry, I'm trying not to smile too much, but that's really cool. Thank you guys. That means the world to me. Spudnik, speaking like Yoda. Embarrassing you are! You don't even realize you do! Thank you, Spudnik. The right has an American identity, it's inclusive. That's not true at all. The left is the truest to the American ideologies of freedom, liberty, and justice for all. The right has abandoned all of that for the fascist MAGA movement. And it's very sad. It's sad to see, because I want a functioning Republican Party. Could you imagine both parties functioning? The Democrats do it fine. We have a big tent party. We allow different voices. But could you imagine a Republican Party that works as well? We'd have flying cars at this point. How is it not true? What do you mean? 5 other streams want to talk with MAGA right now. MAGA is low-hanging fruit. Well, they're currently the biggest threat to our democracy, so that's why I advocate so hard against MAGA and Trump. Do you understand the order of what Trump is Oh, this China cope. No, my friend, if anything, you're just increasing China's dependence on Russia. You're not doing anything to China's, oil supply. By the way, if you guys want to join if you have a Discord and you want to join the conversation, let me copy this. Hold on, I've got a bunch of mentions. Oh, okay, never mind. This is Dylan Burns, not Kalinda TV. We are different people. This is me and my fellow streamers' personal server, although here soon I will be having my own server, so look forward to that. I can't join the black identity? I love America, and like I said, liberals understand the American dream far more than the conservatives do. By the way, if you guys are enjoying the stream, don't forget to like and subscribe. It really helps out the channel and gets me boosted. 51 likes, you are going to be the 51st US president confirmed. Thank you. I couldn't have done it without amazing mods like Bill, without amazing streamer friends like Mina and Rootsy. It really means the world to me. Thank you. Thank you. Which one is inclusive? I don't concede your framing on that's how leftists identify. Autism is real. I agree, it is real, and it is unchecked in MAGA's population. MAGA is the biggest threat to our democracy right now. It's very sad to see. No, my friend, the left advocates far more for individualist policies. As a matter of fact, Donald Trump is so collectivist that he took 10% of an American company. That's unheard of. China has a plan to take Taiwan in 2027. Yep, and that's why we should be taking China more seriously instead of fucking around in Iran or South America. Donald Trump does not want to hold China accountable, though. Ladies and gentlemen, if you look at his strategic policy agenda, you will see that China is barely mentioned. No, that is collectivism, my friend. That is. I know that your person is the one engaging in it, but I promise you that's collectivism far more than what the left advocates for. Oh, you're removing their allies before 2027. One of their biggest allies is currently at war with one of our allies. How's that going out? How's that going? JHC, this guy is dumb. Nuh-uh, I'm a big smarty pants. My mom gave me a gold star for how smart I was. Republicans are definitely not individualist, they are homogenist. That was removed, so sorry if you didn't want that to be read. Okay, thank you for reframing. Thank you for reframing what collectivism means. Unfortunately, history does not agree with you. I don't think you understand collectivism. MAGA, make a Grindr account. Hey, that actually lines up in everything. Good job. One moment though, I will be right back. I just have to move some things real quick. Give me 5 seconds. By the way, don't forget to like and subscribe, ladies and gentlemen. We have most likes when you're having this channel. I really appreciate that. You guys are cool. I will Unlike Tim Pool and a variety of other right-wing streamers, I am not afraid of the fact that I am bald. I wear it like a badge of honor. A badge of honor, ladies and gentlemen. This is how badly you don't know what's going on. Oh, well, please enlighten me. The offer has been there since you joined the stream for you to call in and tell me why I'm wrong. It's been there for a while, man. Republicans definitely are individualists, seeing that they want a hegemony. I know, it's a hard one. Engender roles and national identity, as well as severity to both companies and nation. Yeah, they're definitely more. Their ideology. I mean, how else do you describe it other than fascist, right? Grow it out, bro. There's power in having a long flowing mane. The issue is, as you can see, my hairline does not agree with me having a full head of hair. Trust me, I used to have some beautiful flowing locks. You can we'll actually probably go together someday and look at my older videos. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to like and subscribe. It really helps out the channel and gets me boosted out there so we can get in front of new MAGA faces, because we love seeing MAGA's face. And we love hearing their voices. You know, I like to dispel misinformation. And I say this all, I don't hate Trump supporters. I think they voted based on a bunch of lies and misinformation. Avoiding that I was wrong about the definition of collectivism. Bro, who gives a fuck about the definition of collectivism? Honestly, who gives a fuck about what you're talking about? Americans are hurting, and you seem to want to do anything but talk about the issues that are actually hurting your average American. Music too loud? Bet. I had a feeling it kind of felt a little loud. I did have to turn up my Chrome, so I might turn that down. Sorry about that, gamers. I apologize. The calls work off of my Chrome, so you know, you have to adjust that just right. But by the way, if you guys are enjoying the stream, don't forget to like and subscribe. It's everything, you dumbass! Yes, I'm pivoting away from a conversation that means absolutely nothing. That's a better audio balance? Bet. Bet. No, my friend, people don't give a fuck about whether something is collectivist or whether it's fucking socialistic or communistic. People want their lives to get better. That's what they want. They're tired of MAGA constantly playing on ideological lines and not getting anything done. They're tired of it. Because you lost, well, you guys must be a bunch of sore losers or sore winners, because you guys seem to not even accept that. You can't accept when you lost. We can accept when we lost, but you seem to have an issue with it. Dems with all their negativity, well, what's positive? What's positive coming from Trump? The negative BLS statistics? The war that Donald Trump promised it wouldn't happen? I mean, what is there to be positive about in this administration? Remind people to subscribe. By the way, if you guys are enjoying the stream, don't forget to like and subscribe. I do a show every day. I do 2 shows every day. One where I game and talk about news and politics, and then this one where I debate MAGA. Unfortunately, we haven't had very many call in today. I feel it's because Donald Trump is continuously letting the American people down, and it's hard to defend him. I said I don't care when I'm proven wrong. Not on a pointless subject that nobody cares about. Yes. I'm sorry, I have the ability to admit when I'm wrong. How come my prescriptions didn't come down 600%? I'm wondering the same thing too. I thought my my mental health medicine was going to be down tenfold, but I get the bill, it's about $100. I'm terrible at debating? Yes, I'm sure. I think you're actually pretty bad at debating, because you seem to not want to talk about anything but your small set of topics. Trump was good friends with Epstein. Very true. Dems' highest inflation in 40 years. Well, I think you might be seeing something similar as Donald Trump invades Iran. Gas prices are already drastically up. And can you please remind me at what point Biden controlled Russia? That's why you saw high inflation. The reason we're seeing high inflation right now is because of Donald Trump. Go to a Trump rally, you'll flip to our side? No, my friend. I hate this MAGA cancer, and I think this fascist movement is dying, and I want to be there to dance on the grave. Mushrooms and some camping, best thing for your mental health. Well, that's one way to do it. That's one way to do it, for sure. I do think therapy is extremely valuable, though, and I recommend everybody at least try it out, see if it's for you. By the way, if you guys disagree, feel free to call in and tell me why I'm wrong. I'm not too I'm not too confrontational, you know. I want to have a good discussion where people have disagreements but still see each other as human at the end of the day. I recently got called an abomination, and I don't personally think my fellow American is an abomination, so that about shows what MAGA's debate level is at right now. Gas prices will drop eventually due to Iran and Venezuelan oil in the market. Number one, my friend, that Venezuelan oil hasn't made it to market. It's still in its reserves. What are you talking about? Number two, what we're doing in Iran isn't changing the regime. We're just bombing them. MAGA here just subscribed. Hey, thank you so much, man. That means the world to me. I'm glad we can have our disagreements and still see each other as human at the end of the day, because that's what we all are. And we're all Americans, you know what I mean? We want what's best for the country. I'm a child in geopolitics. Oh, am I now? Well, why don't you come school me on some geopolitical topics? I'd love to hear about how you think the RSF, what do you think about the RSF's latest actions? But Biden had the highest price hikes on everything. On everything? I don't know about that. Well, what I'll say is we can't help that Russia decided to invade Ukraine. What we can do is arm Ukraine with guns and make Russia pay for it. And they should pay for what they've been doing. They're giving data. They're getting our troop movements to Iran. Fuck those dudes. Fuck Russia. I love the population. I love the people, but fuck that government. They can suck one. My dad should kick my ass. Well, I don't think he can come down from the pearly gates and do that, but I'll check with him. I'll get back to you on that. Yeah, I think that is something. Trump is jealous because Biden was well liked and he isn't. Yeah, Trump is a historically low-rated president. And it's easy to see why. His policy makes no sense. He is constantly divisive. He lies. It's a waterfall of lies that come out of that man's mouth on a daily basis. And our country is worse off for it. By the way, if you guys are enjoying the stream and you want to see more, you want to have more access to the content and this information, feel free to join my Discord. If you guys want behind the scenes access or to talk to me on occasion, feel free to join there, and I'll be popping in the void from time to time. I'm actually very excited. That's the problem with you. What's my problem, Sputnik? Biden gave unlimited funds to Ukraine. Well, they weren't necessarily unlimited, but yes, we should be giving our allies in Ukraine as much money as they need to defeat our adversary in Russia. Big rip, as the kids say. But yeah. That's totally reasonable. Dems is the ultimate liar. I don't know. Donald Trump has them beat on multiple aspects. Just not true. Just not true. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Trump is a pathologically lying pedo, con man with Alzheimer's, MAGA is a mental illness. Amen, Baba. I'm gonna call you Baba O'Reilly, okay? I think that name rolls off the tongue. But amen, Baba O'Reilly. I really think one of the big issues, I think things like racism, when you other people, I think that is a sign of mental illness, because that I as a human, I personally don't see my fellow American as some evil person that wants to harm me. Popcorn lung incoming? Well, lucky for you, I'm not vaping in the traditional sense. Teenage Wasteland? What's that? What is that? Anyways, if you guys are enjoying the stream, don't forget to like and subscribe. It means the world to me. I do 2 shows. Sorry, I need to get used to saying that. I do 2 shows every day where I talk about the news and politics. One show at 10 a.m. where I talk about news, politics, and play video games with you guys. And then this show where I debate MAGA and call them out on their bullshit. So feel free to like and sub if you guys are enjoying. Oh, the Who reference? I'm like 22? Oh, well, thank you. I really appreciate that, my friend. You're off by about 4 years, but close enough. I'm not insulting you, Mad Rush. I'm asking you genuinely, why do you support Donald Trump? And you're just complaining. Oh, okay. I thought you were talking. That wasn't Mad Rush that said that. That was ABMO. But Mad Rush, I just feel bad that you instantly tune yourself out when somebody younger is speaking. That's kind of strange. But yes, Stan Dirk, you're totally Stan Durko, you're totally right. MAGA must be afraid right now. They must be afraid of my liberal Chad mind, you know? They're like have you guys seen the image where it's the soy loser who fell for it once again? That's MAGA. Here, let me get an image for you guys so you can maybe visualize with me. You know, this is why we have the gamer box here. This is why we have it. Yep, this is MAGA right now. Totally and completely. I mean, it's almost sad. That's them right now. They fell for it yet again. Even after we warned them, they fell for it. Trump is costing taxpayers $1 billion per day on his war. Not only is he a tax evader, he sends Americans to die for his own greed when he himself would never fight for our country. Amen. The amazing Jacob. I mean, that is totally 100% on the ball. You know, how dare Donald Trump use our American service members in such a wanton way. In such a way that gets 6 of them killed. What were their names, MAGA? Do you remember the soldiers' names? Could you tell me? Or were they just another political pawn? Just somebody, just another loss. Just another statistic for MAGA, who just a couple years ago were talking about how Biden got 13 U.S. service members killed. Donald Trump has done more than that. You know so much, run for president. Well, I don't think I'm nearly old enough for that yet, but maybe someday. Maybe someday. Again, I'm sorry, SBC. I'm sorry. It's up here. It's right here. I know chat is it is kind of annoying, but it's what we gotta work with. This is where MAGA is, you know? This is where they collaborate. Here, I'll put it right there for a minute so you can absorb. But this is MAGA right now. Only evil people gain power? Well, I disagree with that. In a good system, we would have representatives that aren't corrupt. And we do have that on the Democratic side, but on the Republican side, there seems to be a mass, I don't know a mass hysteria, maybe? There's a mass acceptance of authoritarian rule, and I think that's horrible for our country. It's entertaining watching blue voters still craving Kamala? Damn right. We love Kamala out here. Did you just fall out of a coconut tree? Did you just fall out of a coconut tree? That's my question to MAGA. Yeah, Trump had bone spurs. I think it's so disrespectful to call America to say that he's okay with U.S. soldiers dying for his stupid little war. That's a family that will forever be changed because of Donald Trump's reckless actions. And there will be more. Remember, Donald Trump himself said it. There will be more death. How long, MAGA? How long until it's enough death for you and you finally understand that this president does not have your best interest at mind? Will it be 20 soldiers? What about 30? Are 100 soldiers going to need to die? 100 of our bravest men and women going to need to die before you finally understand that Donald Trump doesn't have the America's interest here? Oh, geez. Spare me about standing for Americans as you watch Americans die on in foreign wars abroad. Don't clutch your pearls, my friend. Remember when he ran and hid in the White House bunker? Yeah, he's a coward. Yeah, they don't care about our military, and that's heartbreaking because I think our military is incredibly badass, incredibly efficient, incredibly strong, and they just seem to not care about it. They seem to not care about how inaccurate our military recently was in bombing a school. I'm not even doing this as a moral outrage thing. It is horrifying and disgusting to think our military was responsible for that. It is. But I want to come to you from a purely strategic perspective and a purely optics perspective. Our military is supposed to be 100% accurate. They do not miss. And what happened, ladies and gentlemen? What did Donald Trump degrade our military to? To have us missing a weapons facility and instead hitting a school. The only thing that changed was Trump. Our military was perfectly effective under Biden. We saw recruitment levels that we hadn't seen in decades. But yet, oh, now look at this, Robin. A soldier died too. A soldier? No, 6 of them, my friend. 6 soldiers have died. And Mad Rush, unfortunately, that's just been proven false. We know for a damn fact that it wasn't an Iranian bomb. By the way, if you guys are enjoying the stream, don't forget to like and subscribe. It helps the channel out. This guy looks like he hasn't served a day in his life. Well, I don't pretend to. I don't pretend as if I served. But I still have huge respect for our armed service members. Do you not have respect for our armed service members? Oh my god, excusing death. Kajo, whatever the fuck their name is excusing the death of our U.S. service members. That's fine. They die all the time. Well, I hope you keep that same energy as the death toll continues to rise. But if anybody disagrees, feel free to call in and tell me why Donald Trump is not bad for America. I don't think you'll be able to, but I'd love to hear the justification. I know more soldiers killing themselves by suicide, but yeah, and I think that's horrible. Why did Donald Trump cut funding to the VA? I agree with you. That's fucking disgusting, and our soldiers should never be in a situation, our veterans should never be in a situation where they feel that taking their life is the best option. So why did Donald Trump cut funding to the VA? I'll call boy. Well, go ahead, MAGA. The number's right there. All I ask is that you don't say curses or slurs, or you can say curses, just don't use slurs. Okay. Wow, you liberals kill babies every day. I don't think that's true. How are we killing babies? Are you gonna say by abortion? That's up to the woman. That's the option that represents the most freedom, the most liberty, and the most justice. I'd be interested to hear why you disagree. All right, Matthew. I am glad you like the Bible. That is good. Lies! Well, Sherry, call in and tell me why I'm wrong. The number's right there. If you need to put on your spectacles... Oh, hold on. We got a call coming in right now. One moment, gangster. Let me answer that.
Call from...
Ty Wolf, calling for the guy streaming.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
All right, one moment. I just had to accept here. Hey, how are you doing today, man?
Hello?
Hey, how are you doing today?
Pretty good. Just saw your stream. Figured I'd give you a call. You have some pretty
Yeah, for
strong
sure.
opinions.
Yeah, for sure. I think Donald Trump is horrible for the country. I think he has failed to deliver on many of his campaign promises. And I'm kind of, what do you think he's doing well?
I was just going to call because the only thing I heard that I had contest with is that you seem to be fixating on the fact that 6 U.S. soldiers died.
Yes, I think that's horrible, and I think it's disgusting for people to excuse it as something that happens
For
every
soldiers
day.
to die. For soldiers to die,
Yes.
and soldiers do die every day.
Yes, I agree. But
They don't die in combat.
Donald Trump put
Maybe
those
every day.
soldiers there. Donald Trump put those soldiers in that position.
No. Do you know where those soldiers were when they died?
Yes, they were in a base in, I believe,
They were in a
Kuwait.
U.S. base, not even in Iran. So what are you talking about? They were put there.
They were in the USA. That's not true. They died serving our military in the Middle East.
Yes, exactly. They were in a U.S.-friendly ally country serving the U.S. military.
Yes, and that's even worse. He's putting our allies in danger as well.
So you're saying defending our allies is putting them in danger?
We didn't defend our allies. We started this by bombing
How is having
Iran.
Personnel in friendly countries defending the countries themselves and U.S. interests, not defending our allies. It's kind of like saying I'm going to put a police precinct in your neighborhood, and you're saying
Yes,
that doing
I
that
know
wouldn't
how-
be protecting
I
the
know
neighborhood.
How our alliances work. Yes, I understand that.
So how does that
However,
not make
we are
sense that
putting
U.S.
them in
soldiers
direct
would be in
danger
U.S.
by
positions?
doing this strike in
Of course,
Iran.
that's the military. Yes, that is the military's job to do dangerous things because
No,
you
the
don't want to do
military's
them.
job is to be effective. The military's job is to, yes, do dangerous things, but
Effective
for
how?
reasonable outcomes. What's the outcome of this bombing campaign? Do you see any popular resistance front?
Yeah, there's quite a lot of resistance fronts in Iran. What are you
Really?
talking about?
Really? Where have you
There's
seen
millions of civilians taken to the streets.
it?
Where have I
But
seen
do
that?
they have
Well,
weaponry?
for one,
Do they
the
have weaponry
Iranians
to
on the
defend
street-
themselves? Do they have weaponry
Well, they
to
will when they
defend
take over
themselves?
the military bases
They
because the
will when
Iranian
they take.
regime
How are they
literally
going to
took
take over the
weapons
military
away
bases
from them.
without weapons?
Insurrection? The stuff that's already happening? What are you talking
What do you
about?
mean,
Do you
what
know how
stuff
this
is-
works?
Yes, I know how
How
popular
about I
uprising
slow
works.
down
They
so we're not
need
jumping
weapons,
from one
and
thing to the
they're not
other,
going
like,
to get
constantly
weapons
for a little
with
bit.
pure copium. They're not going to get weapons by good feelings.
Okay, how did they get weapons if the Iranian regime took them from them? Because in the last
I don't
60
know.
years,
That's
that's
a great
exactly what they
question.
did.
How do they get weapons?
Oh, that is a good question. How about from the U.S. military? That's a good answer.
So we're going to send U.S. military. Are we sending U.S. military service members there?
We're
Are we?
literally
Are
sending
we
them through the Air
creating?
Force and Navy.
Are we creating weapon lines to get to civilians? I haven't heard of that. I haven't seen
Why
any
would we have
reports
to?
of
You
that.
just asked how they would get weapons, and I gave you a method on how they would get weapons, and you're saying that
Yes,
that's not
but
what
your
applicable?
method on how they
That's
get weapons
immoral?
doesn't exist and isn't realistic.
How is that not realistic to
Because
take
we
weapons
would
from people
already
who
have to
them
have
and then
through
give them
lines
to
into
them?
Iran. We would already have
mean
to
like
have
to the
through
Navy?
lines.
Like the Navy, you mean?
Just the
And
Navy.
through all the
so,
allied countries
so civilians are
surrounding
just going to
Iran.
walk up to the boats
Like
and be like, "Hey,
Israel,
give us weapons,"
Israel,
and we're just going to throw them to
Qatar,
them.
in Saudi Arabia and all these neighboring
Mhm.
countries, that
Yeah.
might be a method to get some weapons in there.
Yeah, I would like to see that. That's
Like how
not
the
what's
U.S.
happening
Navy
right
is
now.
currently controlling the entire strait right now. Not a single oil tanker is getting through because of the U.S. Navy.
Are we delivering weapons to them right now? Are we delivering weapons to the
I'm
civilians?
not sure. You have to ask the
Are you
generals
just
in
doing
charge.
based-
I have no idea.
You're just doing
I'm not
things
the one
based off of
criticizing the
vibes,
general.
right? You're just doing things
I'm not
based off of
criticizing the
vibes.
general because I'm not the general and I don't know too much about
this
the
is the
specific
copium.
nuances
I don't
of the
know much
military.
about it. This is what you do.
Well, yeah,
This
it's called
is
humility.
no. Our
It's not
military
copium.
is
It's
supposed
called
to be open
humility
and honest with
and
us.
knowledge of the military's complexity. I'm not just constantly crying about something I don't understand.
No, my friend,
That's
you
not-
are
that's the
crying
difference.
about something you don't understand because if you actually wanted to get weapons to the Iranian population, we would have installed CIA assets long ago. That's not the plan here. We're just
You don't
bombing
think we
them
have we
because
don't have
want to.
CIA agents in Iran?
I haven't seen any evidence of it.
Oh yes, you haven't seen the secret agents. Yes, that's a great argument.
We would
I
know
haven't
if we had
personally seen
CIA
them over here
active
in California.
Iran.
I haven't personally seen
We would
inside
know.
the heart of
We
Iran.
would know by now because we would be able to arm the civilians.
I just wanted to,
But we're not doing
to say
that,
that I
are
found
we?
it funny that I thought
If we
like, this
had
call was
CIA, answer
routing
this
to
question for me.
California.
Please answer this question. If we had CIA through
Go
lines,
ahead.
Do you think we'd be able to deliver weapons? We'd be able to,
Can you
right?
repeat that? I didn't hear the first part.
If we had CIA assets in Iran, would they not be delivering weapons right now?
Well, they would certainly be able to give weapons to the insurgents and all
Why
the
didn't we see
population
that
that
then?
wants to resist.
Why didn't we
do
see
you
that
mean,
during
why?
why didn't we see that during the protests?
We mean during the blackout where we know very little?
Oh, so now we know very little. Okay. Interesting. I just think it's very interesting.
When did I say that we knew everything? Like, are you saying
Well,
it's
why
either
did
one
you
or the
call
other?
in
It's like
acting like you
extremes.
knew
It's like either
everything?
black or white. It's like either everything or nothing. Is that the only argument
That's
you have?
not how I think
Did
at
you
all.
plus
I
its
think we
duality
need a nuanced
15?
plan when we go into another country.
Oh, the nuanced plan. You mean the centrist plan right in the middle, right? Not the extreme left or the extreme right.
My friend, I'm a liberal. I don't advocate for extreme left
Oh,
or
there you
extreme
go.
right
So
policies.
automatically you don't have a centrist opinion then. So how are we going to have a middle ground right here?
Well, you
Because
could
I'm not a
start by
hardcore
answering the
conservative, by the
question
way.
or just saying you didn't know what you were talking about, and we can actually have a good conversation rather than you acting
Which
as
part
if
didn't I know?
you
which
knew
part
what
are
you
you
were
saying that I
talking
didn't
about.
understand?
What's
Which
up?
part? Which part? Which part
Most
did I not
of the
understand?
diatribe you have given has
Oh,
been
just all of it.
false.
Oh,
So
most of it. Oh, just say something
most of it.
specific. Just give me something
Unfortunately,
specific so we can talk about
I'm
it.
trying to guide you to the truth and the
Oh, you're trying to
knowledge.
guide me to
I'm
your
trying to
narrative.
give you
Oh, yeah, it's
examples
the
of
truth
how
and narrative
I'm trying
of
to
my
give you
liberal
examples of
bias
how the United States.
ideology. That's great. Thank you for your humility of guiding me
Well,
to
I'm
truth.
trying to give you examples of how the U.S. could actually
I
get
just want to
weapons
find a middle
into
ground
the
where we
into the
actually agree on
Iran,
something.
into the Iranian state. However, you just seem to be coping right now and crying and
I'm just
making
trying
a
to
big
find a
mess.
moderate opinion that you actually agree with, because you just seem to be jumping between extremes.
How am I
Either
jumping
all
in
good or
between
all bad.
extremes? No, I'm
I
not
just
saying I
explained to you. You're either
support
jumping
getting rid
between
of the
all good or all
Ayatollah
bad
if
because
it was
like 6
actually
soldiers
in
died and apparently that's the end of the world.
a realistic plan. If we had realistic objectives, we don't. And you
Going
haven't
back to what you
provided
said about the
any
6
evidence
soldiers
to
dying being the end of the world, right?
you haven't given
was the end of
any
the world,
evidence
right?
to not support that. But what's up?
Remember what you said about the 6 soldiers dying and being apparently like this moral atrocity?
Yeah, it's horrible. I think it's disgusting.
Do you understand that soldiers die every single year going through basic training?
Yes, I
You
understand
understand that,
that.
right?
That
You want to go
still
look it
does
up?
not
Go look
that
up the
does not
number
negate
and
what
then go
Donald
cry
Trump
about
has
it,
done
right?
to put these soldiers in that position.
Oh, so it doesn't matter, okay? Even though it's a higher number, right?
It doesn't negate the amount. So are you
So
saying
it's,
their
it's
deaths
only
are just
because this
meaningless?
happened and it's
Are you
associated
saying
with
they
Donald
died in
Trump, then it's
vain?
the end of the world.
Are you saying they died in vain?
I'm saying they
Their
died for the
deaths
service
are
of the country like
meaningless?
everybody else that died in the military. What do you mean dying in vain? What does that even mean? What does that
Well,
mean to
did they die in
vain? For
vain?
nothing?
I mean, if it's just
Did they die
another
for nothing? I
casualty,
don't know. Why were they
does it
there?
mean anything?
Let's go back to why they were there, which I've already explained to you was their duty as a soldier. What are you talking about
Yes,
dying
it's
in
their
vain? How
duty
can you
as a
die
soldier.
in vain
It seems,
in the
but you're
dereliction of
saying
your
you're
duty?
you're devaluing their loss. You're saying it's just
How
part
did that-
of it's just in the military. No, people die
Yeah,
in
they
basic training
died.
every day. It
Yes,
doesn't
they
really
died in
matter.
exactly.
You're saying
People
it doesn't
died
matter.
in
You
the
realize that's
military.
what you're
That
saying,
is
right?
a fact of life, yes.
You're saying
You're
their
saying that
death
I'm
doesn't
devaluing
matter.
their life because I'm acknowledging that people die?
You're acknowledging that people die, but you're saying it's meaningless. You're saying it happens all the time.
When did I say that? When did I say it was meaningless?
I'm
See, this
giving
is what I mean
I'm
about
literally
black and white
saying right
narrative.
now, and you're
Black
not
and white
you're not
mentality
registering
that you are
it.
fixated on because you're so psychically
I'm not
split
fixated
between
on
this
it. I think
melodic
it's disgusting to
Trump
lose
is
our
the
military
worst thing in
members.
the world, and everything else that's
Regardless.
liberal is the most greatest blessing to the entire of humanity, and liberals can do nothing wrong. Like,
I
that's
agree.
black and white narrative that you're trying to present, and that's why it's dishonest.
I don't agree with you at all. I have plenty of criticism
I know
for
you
the
don't,
Democrats,
because you're not
but
listening to what I'm saying.
I
You're
am
just
listening
defaulting
to
to the
what you're
ideological
saying. I'm
narrative.
addressing what you're saying right now. I'm saying I have plenty of criticisms for the Democratic Party, but I have far more
Great.
criticisms
I guess
for
we
the
can agree on that
Republican
one then.
and the MAGA movement as a entity in general.
So how did I devalue the lives of the soldiers again? By acknowledging
Because-
that people die.
Because you said that it's just an everyday occurrence and that it doesn't really matter that much.
That
because
death
they
is an
died in
everyday
basic
occurrence?
because
and
people
no, I didn't
die in
add that
basic
last
training.
part. I didn't add that last part. You seem
Well,
to
you
add a
implied
lot
it.
of
You
things
said
to what I
you
didn't
said,
say.
well, people die in
Oh, I'm
basic
just assuming
training,
you
so
said
it kind of
it,
just
'cause that's
happens
what I
all the
want to
time.
assume. That's what I mean. You're just jumping ahead to things that I haven't said because you're fighting ghosts of what you think I'm going to
No,
represent.
you're
because
fighting
you're
ghosts,
constantly
my
fighting
friend.
the far
Unfortunately,
right
you are
in
fighting
your
the
mind.
ghost of a
In your
far
mind, you're
leftist.
fighting this
I'm
imaginary
not
ghost
nearly
that
as
doesn't
far
exist
left as you may think
instead
I
of
am.
listening to me, because that's why I have to talk over you, because you're not actually listening.
Go on.
I'm done. What do you want to say?
Are you willing to have an adult conversation now, or are you going to
I'm
continue to
perfectly
soy
fine.
out?
We can slow down. No, I can go as slow as you want. I can
Well,
go
it
as
just
fast
seems
as you
like
want
you're
too.
having a hard time accepting reality. I've provided multiple
Which
ways
reality?
in which Iran could have been feasibly invaded, we could have actually given
Ooh.
the citizenry guns, and you're just soying out about that.
Which part?
And now
Which
you're
part
just
specifically
soying
was I
out. Now
throwing out
you're
about?
I find it
See,
funny.
you're
You've
jumping
taken the
again.
position.
You're jumping again. You're not even letting me respond to what you're saying that I'm not even saying. So if you're going to be constantly presenting these false arguments, why are you talking?
All right, go on.
Well, I'm trying to address what you said. So start with something. Wait for me to respond. So when I say no, that's
Okay.
actually not what I'm
See,
saying.
now who's the
and
one
then
who
you
has to
continue
slow
going.
down here? Who's the one who really has to slow down here?
I just told you I can go as slow or as fast as you want. But if you want to go constantly,
I
you wanna
was
yammer
doing my normal
constantly, it's not
thing,
gonna
and
work.
then you just interrupted me, saying I'm interrupting you.
yeah, because you keep
So
making
do I have to
things
go?
up
Do I
that
have
I'm
to
not
present
saying.
you with like a point by point
You
list,
keep
or what needs to
inventing
happen here?
arguments that I'm not saying because you're arguing with ghosts. Like I said, you're arguing with
right.
your own inner monologue, and then
All
you're
right,
just
so please
deflecting
tell
that
me
onto
how
me.
it's totally okay that 6 U.S. soldiers died. Go off, King.
How is that totally okay? Why would I think that's okay? I think
Yeah,
soldiers
that's
dying
what
is a
you were
horrible
saying.
thing.
That's what you were saying. No, don't go back on that, buddy. Don't go back on that.
Oh, you're basically trying to tell me what I say and believe.
Don't
That
no.
is
You said
interesting.
soldiers die every day
That
in
is
basic
interesting.
training.
Let's look at
You
chat.
said
How about you
soldiers
look at
die
chat
every
and tell
day in
me?
basic
Go ahead and
training.
chat.
Don't go
Yeah,
back
I
on
did say that. I did.
Don't go back on that,
You're
man.
trying to literally say that two things that are completely different are the same thing. How is me saying that soldiers dying isn't a good thing, and then me saying that people die in the military? Like that's a generic,
it's
neutral
7.
statement.
Hold on,
so
we have breaking
go
news.
ahead and
It's
check
7
to see how much of
soldiers
a
now.
hypocrite I am.
It's 7 soldiers now. That's fun.
Okay, wow. Yep, 7 soldiers. Are you gonna lose sleep
See,
over
look,
this?
you're doing it right now, man. You're like, oh, 7 soldiers. You're like, you don't care.
I'm
You don't care
questioning
that
your
these
moral
people died. You're
authenticity
just,
of you actually
they're not
pretending
U.S.
like you're
citizens to
morally
you.
outraged.
They're just your little.
Because you're
Here's
not
what they are
morally
to you.
outraged.
Hold on.
You're selectively outraged.
No, my friend, I would be upset if any
Selectively
U.S. soldiers
outraged.
died due to
Really?
a
Because you
foreign
didn't seem to give a shit about
adversary.
the ones that commit suicide in basic training, which was my entire fucking point, being a lot larger than those 7 that you cry about.
See, you're doing it right now, man. I don't know
There you
how.
go,
I don't know how else
reversal.
to
That
articulate it
circle
to you.
spinning.
You
The
think it
circle is
doesn't matter.
spinning.
Here's what soldiers are to you. Soldiers are like
Oh
toy
my
people
God. I am
that
a
you get to
soldier,
play with,
jackass.
and
Thank
they're
you.
like
Please tell me
they're
what a soldier is.
assets.
Please
They're
tell me what I
assets.
am.
Well, I'm
Am I an
trying to
asset
talk
to
to you,
you?
but you seem to just be brick walling with me, man.
Okay, go ahead, man. Just like as long as you allow me to actually respond to your constant straw man arguments, like so, because I don't want to like be misrepresented, right? I don't like
Yeah,
people telling me
I
what I
understand
am
that.
or what I think or what I feel, right? Because that's pretty
Yeah, I get
manipulative.
that. It was pretty
Would you agree?
infuriating
Yeah.
to have you interrupt me as well. So, if we can be,
Well,
if
I
we
gotta
can grow
interrupt
up,
people
if
that
we
want to
can.
talk over me and tell me things. Tell me things that I don't believe.
All right.
The boundary. So I don't have a problem waiting for you to talk, as long as we have
Okay.
mutual respect.
Yeah, I respect you as my fellow American, man.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I'm not mad at you at all. I think it's a little cruel to just excuse the deaths like that as part of war. I
I
think
didn't
any
excuse
casualty.
death.
Yeah,
I acknowledge
I get that.
that
We
they
get
were
that.
bad. Deaths are bad. We can agree
Yeah.
on that.
They're bad. We can agree on that. Now,
Yes.
let's talk about what we were originally talking about, which was a strategy on how we can actually invade Iran. We can move on from that if you want. We can move on to something else, but I do think it's
Strategy
important.
to invade Iran.
Yeah,
What do you
because
want to
this has
specifically
just
talk
been
about? Why do you want to
wonton. Do you
invade
think
Iran?
this is working? Well, I think Iran is a horrible dictatorship with Ayatollah
Great.
that
Sure is.
abuses people.
Great.
I want what's best for the people. This isn't what's best for the people.
What? Helping them?
bombing their locations without providing
Oh,
any
bombing their
means to
military.
resist.
Bombing their military generals.
Well, it doesn't
is
seem
not
like we've
good
been bombing
for my
all
rating.
military assets.
Within the first 24 hours, the top 5 military officials of the country were executed.
Yeah, our military is badass and effective.
So that would definitely help the citizens of Iran overthrow
Well,
the government.
what was the result of that? Did you see that a new Iranian Ayatollah just got elected?
Yeah, and then I just saw that a bunch of them got killed as well. They keep constantly shifting a new Ayatollah. That's how it works. That's how consolidation of power works.
So are we
Constant
just
next
going to
in
do
line
that?
is always there.
Yeah, are we just going to
Until
do
they're
that
done,
until
yes.
the
That's how you
IRGC
kill a
is
snake
gone?
with many heads, actually, yes. If it's a Hydra, you got to kill all the heads of the Hydra because the new one's going to come up and try to devour everything.
Yeah,
That's how
so
the
do you know
military
how many
complex
members
is
of the
designed.
IRGC there are?
Quite a few, but I imagine if you kill enough of them, the group probably have less interest in trying to take power.
Oh, there's 19 million, so we would have to kill 19 million people. These people are
Well, no, you just got to cut off the
ideologically
head. That's the
driven.
entire body.
They're ideologically driven by theologic beliefs, my friend.
Yeah,
They're not going
and
to
if you
give up that
destabilize it
easily.
long enough,
And bombing
body
them
will
isn't going to
eventually
get them to
stop.
give up at all. They'll just go in their bunkers.
well, some of them, you're right, and that's the same way that the localized criminals work. Like, look at the cartel. That's exactly what they did when they started realizing they were getting attacked. They retreated into the little rat holes. That's
And
what
the
they do.
cartel has famously been not a thorn in the side of the U.S. or Mexico at all, right? Oh,
I'm saying the exact opposite. I'm saying the rats, I'm calling them rats, they're running off into their hole because they know if they pop out their heads, they're going to get immediately executed.
well, they're
how it
still
works.
running the country from that hole, so we got to find a way to get into that hole.
That's how
And we
deep the
don't have any
corruption works.
way to
Exactly.
get into that hole
Exactly.
because the Iranian people don't have the means to resist.
Well, when you're a slave state, it's kind of hard to resist. It's kind of like asking, like during the
I
American
agree,
slave
it's hard.
period, why didn't all the slaves revolt, right?
Not necessarily. Well, you could say in some vein, yes, but there is no popular front for there's no popular front for these Iranian people to join. There's
Well,
no
there's certainly
weaponry.
going to be
That's my
now.
number
It's
one.
certainly going to be now because unlike when the slavery was ended, they didn't have an entire country helping them.
Well,
They had a
that
whole bunch
is
of people
very
trying to
true.
constantly fight against it. Yeah.
That is true, but that the other country isn't necessarily helping the people. They're just bombing the military locations of the regime. That's not going to lead to a power transfer. At the end of the day, we're going to have to either put boots on the ground,
Yes,
which
it's multi-stage.
I don't
yes.
think America's really hungry for, or we're going to
Maybe
have
we
to
can
find
get
ways.
the Iranian boots on the ground,
Well, we're going to have
give
to
them
find
weapons,
ways.
and show them how to fight.
We're gonna have to find ways to train the Iranian population and
Mhm.
show them, like you said, that's not the
Yeah.
plan right now, though. I
That's all
agree that we
possible.
do need to bolster the Iranian people. They have suffered enough, but this isn't the best way. There are better ways to do this, and there are ways that wouldn't show our hand either before it's too early.
Better ways. So you're saying like the top military officials that have studied military strategy for like several decades and have multi-generational military wisdom aren't seeing some grand scheme that you're seeing?
No, I'm not seeing the plan here. I'm just seeing
So
bombing.
what's the criticism?
There's no plan and there's no objective.
There's no plan. What do you mean there's no plan?
There's no
Unconditional
plan.
surrender
We're
is
just
what I
bombing
heard.
them.
Unconditional
bombing them.
surrender is the plan.
So that you think that's a realistic military objective right now is to just get the regime to surrender.
That is certainly a military objective. I don't get
I think. Hey, I heard the laugh there too. I think we both know that's not a military objective. A military
Unconditional
objective.
military surrender is 100% a military objective.
Yes, but not in the way that you're presenting it. We're acting as though we've got a way for them, a plan on how they are going to surrender. We don't even know if
Yeah.
they have any aspirations to surrender. We cut off all communications with them.
What about all the people protesting and getting shot for protesting in the millions?
Yeah, that's horrible. I think that's
So that's
disgusting.
that's literally answering what you said.
No, that's
Like, how do
not
you
a
even know that they
means.
want to
That's
resist?
just well,
That is a means. That's
I know
literally
the
the people
people want
wanting
to
change.
resist. I know the people want to
Yeah, that is the
resist for
means.
sure.
That is the means.
But no, that's not the
So
means
you
because
cut
they
off
don't
the
have
heads of the
they don't
snakes.
have the equipment to resist.
Yeah, because you cut off the heads of the snakes, and then the people can take the snake's equipment. That's
They're
how
not. That's not.
transition of power works.
No.
If I have a
Unfortunately,
gun
that's
and
not
you
how
kill me, you take the
turns
gun
out.
from me, and then you become the soldier. That's how it works.
No, what would happen is if we completely cut the heads off of the Hydra, it's all gone. Either A, the IRGC, the Quds Force is definitely becoming a terrorist cell, but the IRGC, what's left of it, they will become warlords. The heads of each individual cabinets of the IRGC will become in themselves warlords and controlling their own little sects
Possibly,
and,
yeah.
and areas. And so that's not better for the Iranian people. That's chaos.
Better compared to what? Better compared to being a slave?
I disagree, man. It wouldn't be. I mean, at least with the regime, you at least had shelter. You at least had food to eat. Now you wouldn't
So
have
the
that.
regime is okay as long as people aren't dying
No.
and have to fight for their freedoms.
No, I didn't say that. You're taking that completely. That's not what I'm saying at all.
So
man.
you're just basically saying it's not great that they have to fight, right? Because that's what it sounds like. Feel free to clarify. Because it's like, oh, because they can do these things, they can create these terror cells and these guerrilla warfare cells, which, by the way, if the U.S. is overseeing that transition, is very unlikely because, like what they're doing with the cartels, they're going to run out into their hidey holes. And as long as they have control over the system in place, that you go to their hidey holes and then you finish them off the same way criminals work in every other country. It's like you
And
find
that
the criminals,
famously
you
worked
put them in
Iraq
jail.
and Afghanistan, right?
Oh, it's a very different situation.
Oh, it always
way more
is,
organized.
right? It's always a
Way more
different
organized.
situation, man.
And there's no troops on the ground in Iran, by the way.
It's not
so.
nearly as organized. We don't have a coalition. It's just us and
You're
Israel.
right. And Iraq didn't come out in millions and say that, hey, we don't like these people. Please take our control.
I don't know if you remember.
They didn't help along the way either.
But when we engaged in those campaigns, there were people celebrating the day we took out the
Yeah,
dictator,
some.
and then the IED immediately started blowing up a couple months after.
Okay. Well, maybe we learned our lesson. Who knows?
I hope we did. I personally don't think we should have left Afghanistan. I think it was a failure because the people of Afghanistan depended on us to provide them with a democracy, and we ultimately failed. And that's just more. I think democracies are the best way people can be represented. And I think it just increases the living standards of everybody. So it broke my heart when we did that, but that's besides the point. I just don't want the same thing to happen to Iran because the Iranian people are so smart. They're philosophers. They're fucking scientists, and it would break my heart to see them torn into war like all of the other places we've kind of engaged in this kind of conduct with.
Well, that's the thing about democracy. It's not free.
Oh, yeah, I know. And
you got to fight for it.
I agree, but I think we need a better strategy for the people.
Fighting?
But anyways, that was a good conversation. I think we both kind of understand our positions a little better.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, I know there's more people that want to call in, but did you want to talk about anything else?
No, I just want to hear your kind of summary of the conversation because it seemed to start with, Trump being this horrible person, even though he's the head of the military right now, and we kind of came at an impasse of what's happening in Iran doesn't have a good answer or a bad answer. So then, the U.S. military was dying. So, what actually happened in the conversation?
Well, I think that originally you came in and I had the opinion that You didn't value these soldiers' lives. I think we cleared that up. You clearly value
Hmm.
our military soldiers, but I don't think you've been able to provide an answer for the type of strategy, what type of plan we have, what our objectives are.
We went over the strategy, and it was to
The
get rid of
strategy
the
is
heads
just
of the
boring. I
Hydra.
don't think that's a strategy.
Get rid of the heads of the Hydra.
I get
Dismantle
the
armament.
idea. I get the idea, but we're not doing that in nearly the capacity that would lead to the Iranian people having the best outcome.
They pretty much completely dismantled their military capacity.
That's not true. They still have
The same military capacity
the
is what
IRGC is
oppresses the
still in
people from
power.
overthrowing the government.
Well,
Yeah, they
we
still
should
maintain
see in the
fragile,
next few
very,
weeks,
very
we should-
fragile power.
If what you are saying is true, then in the next few weeks, we should see the Iranian citizenry rising up and gaining the power. So I guess we
hopefully.
just have to wait and see. But I don't think we're going to see that. Personally, what I think is going to happen is a mix of the scenario of the IRGC retains some power, some ethno-states break away, and Iran is finished as a country.
What would that look like? What do you mean finish as a country?
Well, there's just not going to be any real centralized power. There's going to be a lot of fights over territory, kind of like what you see in Afghanistan or there's a couple other places.
Yeah, maybe it might descend into that. Who knows? I guess it's up to the people to decide what they want. And at that point, because after you destroy the heads of the Hydra, the body can eventually replenish itself if the people don't finish the job.
Well, it doesn't have to be like we could help the people to make sure the job is done.
Yeah, you can. What would that look like?
That would look like what I mentioned earlier, using our CIA assets to get inroads to Iran and get them weapons. Or something similar.
And they have to first dismantle the military, because those CIA assets aren't just going to kill themselves trying to do that. Like,
well,
it's like the slave
an asset would
analogy
have been
again. It's like
installed
the slaves
years
don't want to
ago.
fight unless they feel like they're going to win.
Yeah, but an asset would have been installed years ago. Like this is years in the planning if we were going to do it like that.
Okay. Well, once again, like the building blocks of democracy are there if the people want it, but you still have to kill the snake to do it. And this is exactly what the stage is at right now, where they're looking for an unconditional surrender.
Well, I don't think the people are going to be strong enough to slay the snake, unfortunately, because they don't. They don't got a sword. They don't got a sword.
But they were smart. What do you mean? We just
they
keep
don't
going
have a
back
sword.
to this. Like
you can't fight the snake without the sword.
Once you kill the Hydra, they get the weapons that they had. Once you kill the soldier, you take the weapons of the soldier, and then you become the soldier if you choose to be. That's how it works.
When the IRGC goes out, it's not like every soldier is instantly going to die. If you have the weapons, you may very well
the people who take the weapons become the new military. The people that are feeling oppressed can then take the weapons and then fight the remaining snake. That's how it works.
But they won't be able to use. Let me try to fit within the example. They won't be able to use the snake's teeth because some of the heads decided to split away and use the teeth for themselves.
See, so you're saying that they just won't have any weapons at all because they just gather them all and they just hoard them all? Like, what do you mean?
Well, what I'm saying is,
like for example, Afghanistan and Iraq, right? When the U.S. left, how much of our equipment was left behind? Quite a lot.
It was a good amount. Yep.
Yes, that's what they used then, right?
I feel exactly like the IRGC would destroy their weapons before they give it to the population. But
when you're dying, you don't really get a choice.
Well, I think there are going to be sects that split off. I think there's going to be...
Yeah, there will be. I 100% agree.
Generals
but those are the ones that become the new enemies who then get hunted until they're either imprisoned or dead.
Well, that's just the thing, just like we saw with Afghanistan. That's a lot harder than it initially
You're right.
seems.
That's like, it's a continual process, just like the criminals in all our countries, right? Like, the organized crime, they continue to exist, and the cops and all the military and everything, all the democracy has to constantly change and adapt to those new threats. Just like when the cartels are sending over drones.
I do see what you're saying. And I hope what you're saying is right. I really do. I want what's best for, I have some friends from Iran, so I want what's best. So I hope what you're saying is right, but I'm probably gonna move on here. It was good talking to you, man.
All right. Pray for the people. See
Yeah,
if they're
yeah,
smart
for
as you
sure.
think they are, and they might bring out democracy. We'll see.
Hey, we can hope. You know what I mean? You have a good night, man. Good talking to you.
All right. You too. Good chat. Cheers.
Yep. All right. That was a good conversation. I think that guy was pretty. We definitely disagreed, but I think I at least was able to portray my fears on, my issues I have with these strikes and why I don't think they're necessarily the best way we could have done this. Anyways, thank you guys so much for the love and support. You guys have been absolutely kicking ass today. I think this may be my most liked video. Let me check, actually. Let me check. 53 likes. Thank you guys so much. That is so sick. You guys are awesome. Thank you guys. That means the world to me. You guys are the reason I come out here. You know what I mean? But, I try to have good conversations where we don't end up screaming at each other. I know in the beginning it's nice. We get the energy out. But at the end of the day, I do like to, at least agree we're all Americans and we all want what's best for democracy, Look at how outdated the Air Force is. The Air Force, unfortunately, has been suffering from procurement issues. Oh, we seem to have a call coming in.
Call from.
So,
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
Hey, how are you doing today, man? All right. Don't worry, I get the nerves sometimes too. Don't you worry about it. We'll be here for about another hour, so make sure to like and subscribe if you guys are enjoying the stream. I'm actually going to get another drink real quick. If you guys feel like donating, feel free to go to my Ko-Fi link. I very much appreciate it. Any donations are appreciated, but you guys don't have to do that. I just appreciate you guys watching me and enjoying the content. It means the world to me. Thank you guys so much. All right, I will be right back. Let me put on some music real quick because it is unfortunately a little quiet here. All right. Well, Keijo, I actually kind of disagree because I think this strategy will lead to increased dependence on Russia for China. That's neither here nor there. All right, let me put on my camera. Actually, real quick, I gotta adjust some things. Don't mind me. Shout out to Cash Patel. I'll see you in Valhalla. Well, the Americans may be all Americans. The problem is we have individuals here that are definitely not American. I don't know about that, man. I think, if you're talking about immigration, I think most of these people are a net benefit for society. Dependence on, well, I don't like dependence on Russia because that just funds their war in Ukraine, you know? I agree with you, Darren, but a lot of people voted for Trump based on lies and misinformation, and so if I try to fight against that. Anyways, I'm just adjusting some things here. I apologize. It'll be probably a couple more minutes, probably 3, if I had to guess. In the meantime, don't forget to like and subscribe. I do 2 shows every day. One at 10 a.m. CDT or CST, whatever it's fucking called, where I talk about the news and politics in game with you guys. And one at 6 p.m. where I come and debate for a little bit. So if that interests you guys, don't forget to like and subscribe. We're getting in the wee last little hours here. Don't know. The war in Ukraine is pretty dead thanks to the U.S. assistance. Oh yeah, I agree. The issue is if they start getting this cash flow because of the oil prices, it may reignite. But I won't lie, like, the Ukrainians have been fucking badass and how they just kind of kicked Russia's ass. Unfortunately, Russia still continues to lob missiles into fucking Ukraine. I have a couple friends from Ukraine, and they just recently talked about how they could hear the Iskanders blow up in the apartments next to them. So that's pretty fucking horrifying. Yeah, Russia is a fucking... I'm not a fan of Russia at all. I think their war in Ukraine has proven they're a pariah, and I don't know if we should accept them into the international community for decades because of this. The demonic... Alright, so my friends, the Jews do not own the world. I'm just going to break it to you. The Jews do not own the world. As a matter of fact, they have been very... a lot of Jewish people are great patriots, so you can get out of here with that bullshit. Anyways, let's turn back our face. Turn our face back on. Now, as is the oil in China. I hope, I know that the Russians unfortunately do have domestically created Shaheds, so I don't know if the Iranian missile threat or drone threat is necessarily over. Probably shifting to a new manufacturer though, hopefully. Yeah, I hope you're right, KJ. I really do, man. We shouldn't have left not have Afghanistan, but not help the Persian people. I've made it very clear that I don't believe we're helping them. But you can feel free to call in and tell me why I'm wrong. There we go. 1 moment. Let me turn off the music.
Call from
James.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
Hey, James, how are you doing today?
Okay, how about you?
I'm doing well. So, do you disagree with the prompt? Do you think Trump is not hurting America?
Well, he's definitely hurting America if there's an American left.
Yeah.
We may not even have an America. Yeah, I call them the demonic Jews because, see, for somebody to say that, well, there's an American, you have different kinds of Americans. You have...
Yeah. So, anti-Semitism is something I don't support. I think it's disgusting, and it's infecting our way of... it's infecting a lot of political spaces. I wish that man luck. The reason I call them demonic Jews... Well, That's interesting. I hope that man finds his place. You know what I mean? I hope he finds a place that isn't anti-Semitic, that can be cool with that type of language. Unfortunately, I am not. Not that guy. No, that's anti-Semitic, my friend. Sorry. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, sorry, we're getting a little later in here, kind of getting a little sleepy, but we're still out here. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys are enjoying the stream, don't forget to like and subscribe. I am here every day at 6 p.m. to debate MAGA, but I'm also here in the mornings at around 10 a.m. every day. No, okay, Joe. I'm good on debating about anti-Semitism, my friend. I've seen a good majority of it. I'm not myself an individual that is Jewish, but I have a lot of friends are, and I can tell. I can tell when somebody is being anti-Semitic and somebody is criticizing Israel. I can tell. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you guys are having an amazing day. I'm actually going to check the AP and see if any news is popping up. It's just emotions? No, my friend. It is not just emotions. I just don't entertain it even, so... You can call it emotions, you can call it feelings. I don't entertain anti-Semitic ramblings. Anyways, let's check the AP, see if any new updates have happened. Guys, if you are enjoying the stream, make sure to like and subscribe. That really helps me out and gets me boosted. Israel and the psychopath that happened to be Jewish are not the same people. I agree. I totally agree. Imagine a Jewish psychopath. I'm imagining, what's the fucking American Psycho with a yarmulke. Damn, Kaijo. I thought we were having a good conversation, man, but, there's no... I'm just gonna... There's no giant conspiracy, man. I'm sorry. There's just not. Anyways, if you guys are enjoying the stream, don't forget to like and subscribe. It really gets me boosted out there. MAGA, feel free to call in if you don't... If you're not anti-Semitic, that is very... a big deal. It's really not a conspiracy. I agree, there is no link. Should I call? Usually, if you're friendly, you can call in. I don't have any issues. I'm more here to debate MAGA, but you can call in if you feel like discussing. Anyways, thank you guys so much. I think this has probably been my best live stream in a minute. I really appreciate it, guys. You guys have been absolutely kicking ass. I've heard ending early at peak viewers. Well, we might end. We can end early if we if you guys are kind of getting tired. I'm getting tired myself. I want to call to discuss. I'm a Republican. Feel free, man. Numbers right there. As long as we are talking about about Donald Trump's policies and just policy in general, I am game. We can talk about other stuff too. Anyways, one moment, I gotta check my Discord. By the way, I see a lot of you guys have joined the Discord. Thank you guys so much. That means the world. Oh, who is that? Bill, who is that? Debating MAGA on a panel about ICE? I need to go to that one of those. I feel like I'd be a good debate partner. One moment. Let me pause my music and we'll answer that phone call.
Call from.
Cole.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
Hey, Colton, how are you doing today, man?
Good, are you?
I'm doing well. So you wanted to talk about some Donald Trump and a little bit of his policies?
I just want to know, like, what do you disagree with him about?
Well, I mean, a lot of stuff, to be honest. I unfortunately got bit with TDS. I think it was a bug that passed it to me. I'm not quite sure. But what I point to right now is the Epstein files, because I think the Epstein files are a real betrayal of trust. Donald Trump promised he would release all sorts of files, the JFK, the MLK. He ran on transparency. And yet we're just now finding out, or just recently it was discovered, that there were 50 pages worth of an interview hidden from the American public, not released in the initial release of the files. And they only recently released it because of public outcry. Are you familiar with that case at all?
I'm not really, no.
Oh yeah, I don't blame you. It's kind of it's a interesting case. So
Yeah.
essentially what happened was there was a investigation done by NPR and a Substack author, and they looked through the Epstein files, just kind of originally just kind of combing, looking through if there's any inconsistencies, and they did find a couple, and one of them was a referenced interview, a couple referenced interviews of an accuser of Donald Trump's and the FBI. They interviewed her 4 times, actually. And they found this out because they saw references. There were catalog numbers referencing it, and there were references to it in passing. So, essentially, it's the victim is accusing Jeffrey Epstein and Donald Trump, obviously Jeffrey Epstein, of a bunch of crimes, but importantly,
Right.
she accuses Donald Trump of sexually molesting her at around the age of 13 and 14. And when she was asked, when they were in their 4th interview and they were going to try to schedule a follow-up interview about Donald Trump, they asked her, they said, what more do you know about Donald Trump? And she said that she didn't really want to talk about it because she was afraid nothing was going to happen. And so that's the interview. And the only reason we know about that is because of the public outcry recently. We wouldn't have known about that interview had there not been more of a demand for the Epstein files.
Right. So is it really full proof that he did that?
Well, it's definitely not foolproof, and I'm not claiming that there's 100% truth. Donald Trump is a pedophile. What I'm saying is there is a lot of weird connections, and I think I think Trump needs to explain himself a little better.
Yeah. I definitely don't think he did anything. I just think he knew about it,
Yeah, I that was kind of, oh my God, a bug just flew in here. Sorry about that. That was just okay. But anyways, yeah, I really don't think Donald Trump is involved well, my opinions change every day because more shit comes
Right.
out. But
Yeah.
my general feeling is that Donald Trump isn't necessarily involved, but he definitely knew about it.
Yeah.
And I think that's concerning because he's claimed a lot, like a lot of people with Epstein, that they had no idea about the guy, you know?
Um,
But what's up?
and then I also wanted to talk to you about what's going on in Iran. Like, do you think that he's doing the right thing right now?
Well, personally, I am no fan of the Ayatollah. I think the Iranian regime is disgusting. I think they rule by theocracy, which is has no place in modern society. With that being said, I think there are effective ways to take out a regime and ineffective ways to take out a regime. An effective way, in my opinion, would be sending our CIA assets there a couple years beforehand so we can get through lines to give them weapons. And so that at the point when an actual popular uprising like what we saw a couple months ago does happen, they have the means to actually take out the regime instead of being constantly threatened by the regime's weaponry.
Right.
So that's kind of my general thoughts and opinions about it. How do you kind of? I feel like it might be kind of a betrayal for a lot of MAGA and Republicans because Donald Trump kind of ran on no new wars, you know?
Right. I mean, I think he's doing the right thing by taking him out, but he's using a lot of his power, you know.
Yeah.
But
So I think, again, I am no fan of the Ayatollah, and I'm glad to see him. I'm glad to see him go. Peace out, loser. Fuck that dude.
yeah,
But my fear lies in what is the future fate of the Iranian people. I don't know if you caught any of the conversation I had earlier, but I painted a scenario where instead of totally dismantling, the IRGC instead fractures into factions vying for more and more power. And that's just a possibility. We don't really know what could happen right now because of, it's hard to tell. Fog of war, and also, I don't think bombing them is really going to do very much, you know?
and then one more thing I wanted to ask you about,
Yeah,
if I need to be real quick, but what do you think about Trump deporting illegal people back to where they're from? Like, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, so I don't support dangerous criminals who are here illegally staying here. I
Yeah.
think they need to go. Well, honestly, I think we should hold them here for a little bit and fucking so they don't just get a free ticket back to their
Yeah.
country. They need to be in prison if they're a dangerous criminal and they have committed crimes here in America. I want them to be in prison. I don't want them to be out roaming some other country where they can hurt more people. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So my general opinions on the illegal people being here illegally, being undocumented, I think that these people provide a pretty valuable service by doing jobs that, people don't necessarily want to do, but it's not just that. They create more opportunities for us Americans. They do jobs that we don't necessarily want to do so we can get the better jobs. And that
Yeah.
may seem kind of bad, right? Like, we're like an underclass. Well, the goal for that is eventually for them to replace, to move up as well. And the first step to do that is having them come out of the shadows and having them become American. I think that's the only way to really deal with it. Now, the people that stay in the shadows that don't decide to come out and say, I've been here for so long, I can provide documentation, I can provide somebody to advocate for me. Those people that don't do that, well, they're doing that for a reason. They don't want to come out. They are the ones doing the illegal. They're the ones being criminals and doing illegal stuff, and we can go after them. But just this wanton approach where we racially profile with people in masks. It doesn't feel American. That's not America. That's not the
Yeah.
America I know, you know?
Yeah, we had a family friend who came here illegally 20 years ago, and he's been doing like yard work and stuff.
Hmm.
And he just recently got sent back, and he had 2 kids are born here, so he's going to be sent back, but they're going to stay here. So I don't,
That's heartbreaking for me, man.
Yeah, 'cause-
And I'm sure he was probably living the American dream, you know?
yeah, he was doing well because I'm not positive, but I'm pretty sure that Trump said that they're just going to send back like the violent ones.
Yeah, that's
I'm
what he
pretty
said,
sure.
and I have no
Yeah.
issue with that, you know? But
Yeah,
it just seems like that's not what he's doing, you know?
yeah. All right.
Well, you seem
Well,
like a cool guy, man. I hope you have a great day.
all right. Well, you too. See you.
Yep. Take care, dog. Later.
All right.
That guy was cool. I enjoyed that talk. 46MD back here with the cope. We love 46MD's cope. We really do. He says it's slavery. Well, I think that's a lot. I think slavery and somebody here working for a little bit less money than your average American, I think that's a long way from slavery, my friend. If there were plenty of Americans that wanted to do these jobs, we wouldn't have seen a record low unemployment rate. Under Biden, they would have been doing these jobs. They're not. We don't have the people to do them, and B, Americans don't want to do those jobs. Anyways, guys, if you guys are enjoying the chat, enjoying the conversations, and want to help support the channel, feel free to donate to my Ko-Fi or like and subscribe. Okay, I unfortunately have the window open, and there's a strange insect flying around, and it scares me. Yeah, how many slaves came to America willingly? You know, that's something else. These people, they want to build better lives, and they understand that they're going to have to start from the bottom, like everybody who came here originally understood. Trump is hurting America. He's not helping. The only people he is helping is the billionaire trash. Yeah, man. I think it's, I think you know, why do you need billions? I support being successful in America. I think, if you work hard and you put your money away well, I think, you know, anybody can become a millionaire. Billionaires, on the other hand, I think you have to do a lot of, you have to do backroom deals, you have to find ways to avoid taxes, and I think that's repugnant. You're not helping out your fellow man. You're just, you're using your liberty to restrict other people's liberties, and I think that's disgusting. You should never want to do that. 46MD can't articulate why it's slavery. He's just saying it. He can't articulate it though. He's just saying it's slavery. I think that is a kind of shame. I think that's kind of gross for people who went through slavery to compare that to this. I think that's kind of, you've lost the plot, man. You've lost the plot. Anyways, thank you guys so much for the likes and subs. You guys are absolutely killing it today. This has been my most liked stream, so thank you guys. That's a new milestone I hit, so thank you guys so much. If you guys want to see more of this, I do 2 streams every day. One at 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. where I talk about the news and I game a little, and then one from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. where I do this, debate MAGA and talk to people. Hold on, I gotta get this, man. Hey, bro, you can't be there. I know it's a really fun place, but you can't just chill on my light like that. Anyways, guys, I have about 30 more minutes left here. Probably can get another call in if you guys are quick. If not, I'll probably leave here in about 10. But if someone does call, I'll stick around for a little longer. Thank you guys so much for the likes and subs. It really means the world. Ray says, no, he is making America better. By the way, name anything Trump has done that is worse than any Democrat has done, cutting of USAID. That was the #1 form of power we had in the world, and we turned the spigot off, so... Don't agree with anything you say, but you do listen. Well, thank you. I appreciate that, Matthew. We've been proven that technology could be used to make most agricultural labor obsolete. Well, my friend, it is not nearly as inexpensive as you believe it be. The upfront cost would be massive. Unfortunately, we don't have most of these small towns don't have infrastructure to take care of. To take care of these high-tech, high-level machinery. So, no, we don't. There's no magic robot that can solve this issue quickly. Anyways, thank you guys for the donations. We got $5, so shout out. That means I'm doing something right. And thank you guys so much for the likes. You guys have absolutely decimated it today. Again, I will be live tomorrow at 6 p.m. To 10 p.m. and then check back in the morning at around 10 to see my news and gaming streams. Anyways, guys, I don't think we're going to get any more callers here today, so I am probably going to head out. Thank you guys so much for the likes and subscribes today. We will be having a community day. I'm planning it out actively, so look forward to that. In the meantime, I have a podcast on Tuesday called Rage and Resist. Check that out. That's where me and a couple liberals live out and talk about all sorts of things happening in the Democratic Party. And yeah, I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace out. Actually, hold on. Before I go, I do want to give you guys a little piece of... let's change up the music a little bit. You know what I mean? You guys are going to want to stick around for this. You guys are going to want to stick around for this. I promise you that. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Peace out.
I dive into frozen waves where the past comes back to life. Fight fear for the selfish pain, it was worth it every time. Hold still right before we crash, cause we both know how this ends. A clock ticks and it breaks your glass, and I drown in you again. Cause you are the piece of me I wish I Tell me now, don't hesitate. You've been long since baby ducked.